We live. All right. I'm gonna say.
Oh, Joey JoJo's.
3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo podcast, episode 930, the Arbeliva podcast.
At Arbeliva.
Mom Brain, when he talks about Arbeliva, that's how I'm saying it because it's like plant based. It's also olive based. Arbeliva. I don't know. My believer. Anybody tunes into this podcast and they're like, I'll give this show a try. I've never listened before. In the first minute, they're like, well, I'm out.
I don't speak this language.
I can't find.
The Pokemon's here in your hand. Right here. It's right here, actually.
I don't believe.
There we go.
This Pokemon is
Whoa.
very compassionate.
What was that?
I don't know.
This Pokemon.
I had a really good massage this morning.
Uh,
It's very compassionate. It will share its delicious, nutrient-rich oil
so will I.
with weakened Pokemon. 4 feet tall, 106 pounds, male and female, and the category is olive. Abilities include Seed Sower, which turns the ground into grassy terrain when the
You-
Pokemon is hit by an attack.
You listen up, you seed sower. Thanks, Mom Brain.
So those seeds. This is the end of the Pokemon section.
Thank you. For people watching, Nicky Hill will be here. He is going to be a little late, but he will be here. I know I said the regular crew would be here, and I meant it. But Mom Brain is here.
I am.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Tired. Deux Michaels is here. He returned.
Cuckoo.
We spoke his name. He's here.
Hell yeah.
Like I said to you when you walked in the house, it was genuine. I feel like we haven't seen you in so long. Well, I mean, it's been a couple 2+ weeks.
Also,
It's been 2+ weeks.
Raw Meat said that Dew looked taller.
Did he? He did. He
I'll
looked
take it as a
taller. He
compliment.
looked so handsome. It was
Oh, stop it.
great. Josh Grobot is here. Josh, my friend, how are you doing?
I'm feeling so great. Thanks for asking.
Love to hear it. And George is here. George, how you doing?
But George, no.
Mom Brain, don't you have something to tell George?
I'm having it right now.
Oh,
You wanna taste,
my
George?
God.
You want a little taste?
Well,
Ooh.
hold
Yeah,
on.
here.
Hold on. Tell me what it is. No, tell me what it is.
It's good, right?
I think there's lime in there.
There is. So Nintendo sent me a really delicious little beverage that is lime and a little bit of sweetened condensed milk and water and a little bit of sugar, and you put it in a blender, like you chunk up like whole
A
limes,
blender.
and then you pour it through like a sieve, and you end up with this delicious.
Wait, you killed limes for this drink?
How about I reorganized them? I reorganized them and extracted their pulp.
I just ate my fellow brethren through a straw.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
George, it was great.
It
You know.
would have been pretty good if the condensed milk and the water and the sugar wasn't in there.
I see.
Not enough limes. Too much of the other stuff.
Make it with lime milk next time.
George, you milk limes?
I milk my limes all the time.
Yes.
I love when people milk my limes.
George, I didn't know that you had your limes milked
Would you like to milk my limes?
all the time.
So full of juice.
I think we have to move on. think
I miss a
it's-
couple of podcasts,
on.
and his whole personality changes to this like sex-crazed lime
We're
maniac.
We're just having a little fun here. We're just having a
Tentavision
little
says,
fun.
"I've got limes, Mom Brain. Can you milk me?"
We're just having a little fun, guys. I'm just trying new things. I'm feeling lime. Don't worry. George, you be you. Don't worry about it. Hello, Nintendo and Tentavision and PC and Radical Defect and Alternate Liz and Nico Darunia and Tall Show. Did I say Blood Ocean? And Blood Ocean. And Drake and this god darn chat. Malik Halo and Roth and SD and whoever else I didn't see. Ice Dilbert, thanks for coming to the show. We love having you here.
Ice Dilbert mentioned they just started up Wind Waker on the GameCube, and they can't deal with the controls because they're not inverted, and I feel that pain. I feel it.
You were just talking about that. Ice Dilbert started the GameCube version because they're like, the Nintendo Direct happened and they didn't announce a port, so they're like, well, I guess I'll go in now. That's it. No shot.
Do we gotta do?
We got plenty to talk about today. We will get to it eventually, but yes, it was a supremely busy week. But thankfully, and I'm gonna jinx myself, but as far as I know, all the conferences are over. There are no more scheduled that I know of, so hopefully it stays that way.
Playtime's over.
It was 5+ weeks of conferences, covered a whole bunch of them. Let me say right now, a huge thank you to Quens and Nintendo Jam and Pelu and JM for helping out with those different conferences. We tag teamed a few of them. There were some that people took on their own. Obviously, I did some on my own, but we got them done. So thank you so much to the team. It was a great help. The conferences are always annoying. They're even more annoying now because there's no just 1 week of things. It's like a whole month plus of stuff. But having people around to help out was a nice, I don't want to say break, but it made things much easier to do. I didn't have to cover every single thing. So, but it's done.
There was a lot of really cool news.
It's over. Well, this
as
week
an
in
outsider,
particular,
just reading, the stories that I liked, there was a lot of cool news.
This week was a great week for Nintendo fans, without a doubt. The sentiment's been all over the place. They're like, if E3 was still going on, Nintendo would have won E3 hands down. And I'm like, well, I am a Nintendo fan, but I do tend to agree with that. I thought Microsoft had a very strong showcase. I thought it was their strongest one in quite some time, actually. I enjoyed their showcase, but then Nintendo came along and
I'm not wearing a Microsoft shirt, baby.
Not yet. But they there's a whole bunch of stuff to get into. We'll cover all of that, but let's get into the before the news stuff. There's just a couple things. First thing, Mom Brain, would you like to talk about the drink you made today for me, as I found on TikTok?
Tom Collins?
That's it. I'm a drinker now. It's been a lot has happened in 2 weeks, dude.
Think of like a weird alcoholic drink to start with.
So Ramit always wants to find a coffee beverage that he likes. I believe that my body is probably 80% coffee.
My body is coffee.
My body.
Did you say I believe?
I believe.
I believe.
In
Say
Joe
his
Hendry.
name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe PC's in there. She'll get it. Maybe. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway.
Is that the sexual chocolate wrestler? Wrestler?
Oh,
It's not.
PC said clap clap.
It's another wrestler. He's in TNA. And he's got a great song, and it's a whole thing. I'm not going to get into it. I'll annoy you with it later. But
all right.
He's been singing it. Then he sent me a TikTok with the song in it, and now my algorithm is like, "Oh, you want I Believe in Joe Hendry?" Every other TikTok.
The TikTok
yes.
was like, what was it? Like me randomly during the day at some point, and it was the theme song, and that's what I've been doing. So.
Anyway.
Well, yeah, you haven't let me down with a wrestler's theme song yet.
It's a good one.
Somebody call my mama up there.
It's true. So. Anyway, Ramit's always on a quest to find a coffee drink he likes. And it doesn't really work out for him. So he found a TikTok where a woman goes to Wawa and orders like a double espresso, just straight up, and then dumps it into a cold cup with ice and their cookies and cream milk, like from the refrigerator section.
Which is great. I've always been a fan of that.
So I told Ramit, like, well, you don't need crappy Wawa espresso. You can have good espresso at home. So today, after my massage, I picked up some cookies and cream milk from Wawa and made Ramit the beverage. And
I could drink that every day.
Beautiful.
It was, did you try it at all?
No, that's
it
really
still
not my
tasted
thing.
like to me, because I'm very sensitive to coffee and I feel it's strong. And
well, you got one shot of espresso with 8 ounces of the milk.
Like I could still taste the coffee aspect to it, definitely, but it was to a point where I was like okay with it. So the drink is mostly the other thing with some coffee splashed in it, but I liked it. It was very good.
Did you get it jittery or anything?
No, I've been okay, but I did drink it with I had a donut along with it. So, I was like, I don't want to do this on an empty stomach. Let me like eat something with it. And
Good
I've
idea.
been okay. I think if I had one more, I'd probably.
Are you going to tell everybody about the other drink you've been having every day now?
Why don't I know it?
Hmm.
Yeah. What is it?
Metamucil.
Well, I've been taking like fiber gummies, and I'm out of them. And Mom Brain, we went to Costco, and she got their like, 2 giant vats of Metamucil.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, I'll try it. And
Is that like powder in the water?
yeah, except it's like like a sludge. Like you mix it forever, and it's like.
Actually,
It's like you're swallowing like ectoplasm or something.
you have
It's
to
gross.
like down it quick because it becomes like gelatinous.
Okay, yeah.
But even like I'm like stir for like a minute solid, and then I go to drink it, and it's still like it's just
I bet you could take a pill with
it's
that.
gross. It's just like
I bet you could take a pill.
fibrous.
It's interesting.
It's like drinking like gack. That's what it's like.
Is it? What does it taste like?
It tastes fine. It's orange flavored, so the flavor's good.
Yeah.
But like it's probably going to gross some people out. When I had it the first time, I drank it like normally, and I have the mustache, and because it solidifies so quickly, it turned into like a booger crust on my mustache because it just solidifies that quickly. So I have to drink it.
How's it work compared to the fiber pills?
Well, I can't remember the last time that I've had to poop every single day. I've pooped 3 days in a row. It's been like.
Is that the goal?
Years and years. I mean, now that I eat a restricted calorie intake,
you're trying to retain all that poop.
I would.
Yeah, your body's like, hold on, we might need this.
Yeah,
He's got like one tiny pebble once a month.
I'll eventually feel like I have to poop, and then I'm like, oh, this was disappointing. So I'm taking this stuff, and it's been great. So that's great. But
Nice.
yes, it's been delicious. Costco to the rescue once again. So those are. I prefer the coffee drink. But it's not doing for. Well, I don't know. Today's the first day. We'll find out. And then the only other thing, PC, that thing about pooping every day is not true. The doctor, I looked into it. It said anywhere people who poop every day to people who poop once a week, that's all within the norm. So if you're once a week pooper, you're totally fine. If it's longer than a week, I don't want to say something's wrong, but you're outside of the norm.
And I also suppose it's. If it's normal for you to poop once a week, then that's fine.
Yeah.
If you
go
normal,
from every day to once
right.
a week, yeah, something's up. The only other thing I want to talk about was I saw a TikTok about a woman who was on a plane, and she was like, we were on this plane and they were boarding, and she sat down and she got nervous because she's like, I smell gas, like something's going on. And she said as she sat there, it continued to get stronger, and other people were making noise about it. Did you see this TikTok?
I heard about this. I'm not going to spoil the ending.
Thank you. So, the smell got stronger. People were getting nervous. Obviously, if you're sitting on a plane, you smell gas. You're like, what's going on here? I don't want to take off in this thing. Eventually, the captain got on the speaker and was like, we found the source of the gasoline smell. Don't worry. It was durian. Now, I've known for a long time that the fruit durian smells terrible. That's all I know is that it smells terrible. I didn't know it smelled like gas. There's a whole reason I'm telling the story.
Like propane or like natural gas.
We went to H Mart, which is filled with all kinds of wonderful, weird things that we've never seen. And Mom Brain was recently saying she wanted to try durian. And they had, what are they? Like peanut balls?
They're peanuts
with coconut
yeah.
and durian. And I was like, let's take a baby step into durian. So we got these things.
Forgive me. This is before you saw the TikTok?
After. So
the TikTok about it smelling bad made you want to try
No,
it.
before the TikTok, Mom Brain was saying she wanted to try durian. It just so happened that
we
popped
seen
up.
them at H Mart.
Yeah.
I got you.
And we don't want to buy like a whole durian. Like that's insane. If we don't like it, we've got a giant fruit you're just going to throw away. So we got these little snack things. So I tried it first, and it's in like a tin, like a cylinder tin. So I popped it. It's got one of the pop lids, like a fancy Planters peanuts are fancy. It shows how not fancy I am.
Well,
the
Mr.
metal,
Peanut
the
is
pull
fancy.
tab can.
Yeah.
So you open it up, and I immediate was like, this smells exactly like
Should I go get
propane.
it?
Yeah,
You wanna
go-
smell it?
if you want to smell it.
Mm.
I was
Yeah.
like, it smells exactly like propane.
Want to go smell?
So I ate one and I was like, it doesn't taste bad. They're okay. Like, I'm not like, this is a great snack. I was like, it's okay. But I could not believe how much it smelled like propane. And then, like, for the rest of the day, all I had was 3 of them. They're like marble size. They ate 3 of these things. For the rest of the day, I was burping up strong propane. And I was like, now I get it. When people said it smelled bad, like, or gross, I don't think propane smells gross. I don't think it smells good, but not gross.
Thank you.
But this smells, I mean, you pop the cap and see what you get. He's taking it in deep.
Okay, yeah, you can smell that. It's
Yep.
like
You're welcome to try one if you want. No pressure.
I mean, I'm curious.
yeah,
Just
they
be
don't.
warned, you're gonna burp it up later.
They don't taste bad. It's not bad. Let me see that can.
Pretty
Yeah.
mild, pretty
Yeah.
mild
Yeah,
on the
I would
flavor.
agree. I would agree. But yeah, when you first smell it, you get this sweet smell first,
And
but
at
then the back end is definitely propane.
the back end
Yeah.
is
It's
like a
nuts.
weird. That's strange.
So what I didn't tell you is that
Whoa.
we came home. I tried one. Then I went outside and had a bonfire.
And
For the
blew your air on the
solstice?
fire.
And I burped and I was like, if I blow this out of my mouth, what's gonna happen?
Man,
Well, thank God you're
Interesting.
still here.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
thanks for sharing.
Now it makes me more curious to try like what actual durian tastes like, because now that I know the smell, I'm like, oh, I'm curious just what durian on its own tastes like. But
I always
There
thought
you
that
go.
they must smell like rotting. You know, like,
that's what I thought. When people were saying gross, I imagined rotting.
and I guess that could get like rotten egg sulfury if you're talking. I don't know.
I don't know. But yeah, I'm down to try. That's right, Nintendo. Yoshi would be proud. He's a big fan of durian. All right. Let's get to the Patreon post. What did I post about on Patreon this week? Mom Brain, did you know that you can join Patreon
For $1.
for $1? Some lovely people did, and thank you to them for doing so. Slowly but surely getting more people over there. This is the only place I promote that thing. I keep saying that I should change that. I just don't. Also, thank you to everybody before I get into the Patreon stuff. Thank you to everybody on X and Threads. Because obviously the direct and other stuff going on, we got a massive boost in followers. Especially on X. We gained like 1,200 people within the span of a week. How many of them stick around? Probably a third, but thank you everybody who joined there. And on Threads, we got like another 150 in like a span of a couple days. So thank you everybody that's following along. I appreciate it. But anyway, Patreon, what did we talk about this week? I had you in mind when I made the first post. It was about
Nice.
summer games. So it's the start of summer. And I was like, what games do you guys have that you play because you're in a summer mood? And I was reading what
Nice.
everybody said, because I said, I know that's not a me thing, but I would imagine that's something a lot of people do. You're a Sunshine guy? Super Mario Sunshine?
I actually like to play Super Mario Sunshine in the wintertime, believe it or not. Most of my weird quirks about the season that I like to play games in happen in the wintertime. I can't think off the top of my head like a summertime game that I like to play.
So you're playing things in winter to think about how you don't want to be in winter.
But not even
I
like,
get it.
and I like winter too. There's just something cozier about being inside playing games on a winter's day
I
than
get it. Yeah.
than a
get it.
summer's day. But trust me, I'm still playing games in the summer, people.
So yeah, people were talking about their summer games and why they go back to them. Also wrote about Kaiju number 8 because I've been watching that anime and really been enjoying it to a degree that I didn't think I would. I wasn't against the show at all. I was excited for it, but it's giving me something that I didn't think I would get from it.
A boner.
The main character is quote unquote, everybody talks about him being old, but he's just old compared to everybody else. So like everybody else is in like their very early 20s and he's like mid 30s. So they call him old man and whatever, it's about his body, like aches and pains and not being able to move as well as everybody else because he's older. And I just like that aspect of it. But he's one of the best main characters in an anime I can think of, at least in recent memory, because he's just so nice and so supportive and so friendly, and he's funny and quirky and just endearing and committed. He's such a great main character. You can't help but root for him when you watch the show, and he makes everybody else around him better. It's a really awesome show. And the dub is great. It's a great show. It's a great show. So it's not, the first season isn't over yet. Crunchyroll put a lot of money behind this one because they're doing dubbed episodes day and date with the Japanese episodes. So you don't have to wait like 4 weeks for the dubs to start. You can watch right along with it every week.
Wow.
So I wrote about that, and I really like it. We did a little Nintendo Direct predictions post because we wanted to see what people were talking about before, or what they were expecting before the Direct happened. And then we did the next day a review of the Nintendo Direct on Patreon. We're going to talk about all Nintendo Direct stuff today, so don't worry. I talked about, in particular, who's developing one of the games that was announced. I'll get into that later. Also, there was the limited run games presentation a couple days after the Direct, and one of the games announced in there was Renane, which is like it looks like a Metroidvania. You know, the game looked awesome. I loved it, but the music in the trailer was so good that it both gave me goosebumps and made me tear up. I was like, this is exactly the kind of music I love. And I was like, I need to know who the composer is. He's Mason Lieberman. I searched the composer. I found his SoundCloud, and he's got like 8 samples of music from Renane. Renane's not out yet. It comes out this year, I think. But he's got 8 samples of what'll be in the soundtrack, and every single one of them is just as good as what you hear in the trailer. It was incredible.
Bangers.
So I listened to that, and I was like, I got to find this guy. I went on X and found him, and I sent him an X on X, and I was like, I just got to let you know, the music in this trailer blew me away. I was like, this is incredible. I was like, I'm just as excited for your music in the soundtrack as I am the game itself. And he's like, thank you so much. Like, that really means a lot. He was like, he couldn't have been more appreciative and nice. And we chatted a little bit more. And I found out he worked on Kaiju number 8 as well. He does a lot of the original music in Kaiju number 8. And he sings in the songs on Kaiju number 8, not the intro, the outro, but songs you hear during the show. And I was like, this guy's got his fingers in a whole bunch of stuff that I like. And I went to his what do you call it, portfolio, and he's worked on Pokemon, he's worked on Disney properties, he's worked on it's a massive list of a whole bunch of stuff you've heard of. It's really impressive. And like other people that he's worked with started chiming in on that X post, being like, Mason's the man. He's so great to work with. He's incredibly talented.
Nice?
So like everybody, you know, is all about this guy, and I get it. And I said to him, whatever you're working on now, like I followed him on X and set up notifications. I'm like, whatever you're working on, I'm going to pay attention to it, because it was like looking at a list of all the stuff I already love. So wherever he's going, I'm going to check it out, because man, is it good. The Renane trailer, go check out the Renane trailer. It's got things that I love. It's got very strong trumpets in a song. It's a toe tapper. Oh man, it's so good. That
Very
song's
cool.
so good.
Trumpets and toe tapping.
I love
The
a
3
trumpet in a
Ts.
song. And then I also talked about Delicious in Dungeon, because a lot of people on Patreon have been like, watch Delicious in Dungeon. We want to see what you think of it, because as I've said on this podcast before, I don't like food-themed levels. I don't like food-themed TV shows. I don't like food-themed... It's just a thing. It's just... when food is the central thing, I usually don't like it, but that won't stop me from trying things. Hence, I tried... Yep. You know, the great show. Yes, chef.
Great British Baking Show.
No,
The
The
Bear.
Bear.
The Bear. And you know, that is about food, sure, and they have fancy food shots and everything, but that's not really what the show is about. Food is the backdrop for everything in that show. But
And in your defense, you still hate those food shots in that show. So
I can respect that they're beautifully done, but I'm like, give me more of the story, please. So I gave Delicious in Dungeon a try, and I'm halfway through it. You guys are right. It's great. And it's, I mean, I want to describe what the show is, but I don't want to spoil. So let's say I'm only going to cover what's first episode. It's a band of adventurers that are going through a dungeon. and they're trying to rescue someone, and they had to bow out of the dungeon the first time because someone got in a lot of trouble, and they need to go back and get them. But the rest of the group didn't have what they needed to make it through the dungeon, and they were like extremely hungry as well. They didn't have supplies, so they were fighting on fumes, which is why things went south. So they went back up to the top to regroup, and they're trying to figure out what can we do. Can we sell some of our armor to get enough money to buy food to get us back down into the dungeon to save our partner, whatever. And one of the guys is like, well, we could eat the monsters. He's like, it's not unheard of to eat the monsters, and there's a whole bunch of people that are into that. And the rest of the people in his group are like, I don't want to eat monsters. So it's about them like learning the cuisine of how to cook monsters as they're exploring a dungeon and going. So it's like an action adventure, but the backdrop is food and monsters, and the characters are so much fun to watch. There's like a big hairy dwarf guy. There's like the main adventure guy. There's a mage, and there's like a little like like a trap guy, like he goes around and stops traps and picks locks and stuff like that. A thief, I guess you'd call it, but he's not a thief. And the way they play off of each other is a rogue. Thank you. Is so good. The humor in the show is really good. It's so endearing. Every episode flies by. I really like the pacing. It's probably some of the best pacing I've seen in an anime in a long time. It's just really enjoyable. Plus, I love the idea of going through a dungeon and working through the floors of the dungeon, and like secret compartments and trap rooms and treasures and all this stuff. But it's about them trying different monsters, and the mage doesn't want anything to do with it, but she'll give things a try eventually. And the other guy's like, I don't know. And then the lead guy's like obsessed. He's always like dreamt of like what these monsters taste like, and everybody else on the team calls him out for being weird. They're like, "Why do you think about this stuff?" And then there's the dwarf guy who has always eaten monsters because that's just what they do. And other things happen,
Delicious.
but it is so good. I love this show. And the icing on the cake is, no pun intended, yes, that's him. He's amazing. It's drawn by Studio Trigger, which is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, anime studios. Because I don't think Studio Trigger has such a anime studios have their own styles, but Studio Trigger has a very distinct style, and they do like very specific like movements when it comes to action scenes, and things are like very angular. I don't know how to describe it, but Studio Trigger stands out to me, and I love what they do. And some of their scenes in this anime when they're going into the action stuff I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. It's just animated in such a cool way. It blows my mind. I love it. It's just a really nice looking anime altogether. Then on top of that, there's something I don't want to spoil, but obviously it's a dungeon. There are dragons. Dragons breathe fire. They show a thing about how dragons breathe fire. I've never seen it anywhere else. Dragons breathe fire, but I don't know how you read a lot of fantasy, so maybe there's been ways of explaining how it all works with inside a dragon. They explain it in this show as far as how dragons breathe fire and like all that stuff. That I was like, that's such a cool idea. I would have never thought of that. And they show the dragon doing it like in action scenes, and I'm like, it's just a little thing that I was like, man, that's an awesome idea. So Delicious in Dungeon. It's on Netflix. Another fantastic dub, by the way. Really, really good dub cast in that one. It's only one season so far. The second season is greenlit. Go check it out on Netflix. Delicious in Dungeon. Great theme song by what's the name of the band, Mombre?
The Pillows?
No, it's that weird name. All bands have most bands have weird names, but Bump of Chicken is the band name. Bump of Chicken. So go check that out. And I would say let's get into news, but Nicky Hill just got here, so we'll give him a second.
We'll have to speak his name when he comes in. Does this show have 22
Yeah.
episodes or something like that?
First season is 24, I want to say.
They love that. They love it.
I wanted to
Is that what
talk
it sound
about that a very little bit. If you're open for it, I'll talk about it.
Sure.
I was thinking, so what's an average American show have? Like 8 to 12 episodes, somewhere in there?
Sure.
First season, we'll
Yeah.
say. So those episodes you would largely say are an hour long, give or take.
Depends. Yeah, sure.
So like if you take anime episodes, which are 21 minutes, it all evens out the same way. It's like an American show is 8 to 12 episodes, or an anime is like 18 to 24. You get, 3 20-minute episodes or 1 hour long episode. It all evens out the same way. So I was like, I didn't realize that. But I think, when you're telling a story in a 20-minute section versus an hour long section, things are paced differently, obviously. So it
Yeah.
feels different when you're watching.
I definitely, I don't watch, as you know, a lot of anime, but when I do, I tend to binge it because they go so quick. Usually, I mean, it's 20 minutes, and then they all, usually it's always a cliffhanger, and it's like, well, I guess I'm watching another one.
Yeah.
And then they even seem to be, at least some of them seem to be broken up into like 2 parts too.
Yep.
So like you could even watch 10 minutes of one and take a break if you really wanted to or needed to.
The last couple nights when I was watching, when I got to the end of the episode in Delicious in Dungeon, where I would, like, my time on the treadmill was up, I was like, oh, I really want to see what happens. I made myself stop because I'm like, that's better motivation to go on the treadmill tomorrow and walk. But it's been a few episodes where I'm like, oh man, I really don't want to stop here. It ends on a cliffhanger, like you said. I thought Nicky Hill was here. Nicky Hill, we speak your name? There's noises, right? I'm not crazy.
I just heard the door now.
I did too, just now.
But I didn't hear it before.
Yes, he's here. Say his name.
Is that what I sound like?
He appears. I believe in the Nicky.
Is that what I sound like?
There he is. I saw him. He's here. Well, I guess you can hit the news jingle and we'll warm up.
We speak your name. We speak your name.
Oh, I get it. Wow, it didn't even click for me. Oh, I see.
We speak your name. We speak your name.
I love all
Nicky,
these
we
gifts
speak
of
your
Delicious
name.
and Dungeon in here. Thank you, guys. And yes, Mom Brain, I knew you would love Senshi. That's not how he's normally wearing more clothes than that. I haven't seen him like this yet, so. But Senshi is amazing. Hello, Video Game Guru. Good to see you. Wait, Video Game Guru, explain, why is there no new dub for Kaiju number 8 this week? What am I missing? I'm watching Go Loser Rangers, and there was a week where there was no new episode. And when I went in, I was so disappointed, and I didn't know that was going to be the case. Hi, Tater Tot. Why is there no Kaiju number 8 this week? There he is. Say his name, and he appears.
Speak his name.
Oh, and he smells nice.
You are
too.
a real hero.
You can move it if you want. Too much.
Oh.
Rita Repulsa is coming back. Radical Defect. She's in that game. She's after 10,000 years. She's free. Time to conquer Earth. Video Game Guru, if you're listening, I would love to know that answer. No pressure.
Oh.
What's up?
Joe Henry.
Joe Henry. Joe Henry's in the chat. Okay. So yes, Nicky Hill, how are you?
Is that my microphone from last week?
I don't know.
Should we
sound like?
switch over?
Speak into it.
Whatever. Hi, I'm here.
Oh, you're good.
I made it.
Thanks for joining us.
I wasn't here when you said I was here. I don't know what you heard.
I don't know what I heard either. You're right.
I was still down the road listening.
Yeah, that was interesting.
We are going to jump right into the big things that happened this week, and then maybe we'll see how much time we got left, and we'll go for the other news. We're gonna, you know what we'll do? We're gonna do the limited run games conference first, and then we will do the Nintendo Direct. We'll go with the appetizer and then the main course. Thank you, Mom Brain. So limited run games had their usual presentation. They focus mainly on physical games, but they have become a digital publisher as well. So they announced some brand new digital titles, but I can tell you what's on the way from them. And there's a whole bunch of exciting stuff, depending on what you're into. But there's classics, there's new stuff, plenty to look forward to. And not a lot of these had dates. So it's just going to be like, well, it's coming when it's coming. So what they announced, let me tell you.
Talk about Bubsy. People are clamoring.
People love the Bubsy. You know what? I think I'm going to go through it. I think I'm going to go through it the way I wrote it. So, in order of how it appeared in the show, they revealed Star Wars Dark Forces Remaster. That's getting a physical release. Pre-orders are
Where
open
was that originally?
now. Huh?
Was that originally like Super Nintendo? Was that the
No,
one?
that was PC. only.
PC.
What was the one that was on Super Nintendo?
Super Star Wars.
Oh.
But no, like I think it was Super Nintendo. It was a first-person game. It was like Doom, or no, that was on PC.
No, no
That's
first
Dark
person
Forces,
Star
isn't it?
Wars.
That is
It's
Dark
fir-
Forces,
first
I think
person,
you're
yeah.
thinking of.
Yes, there was
Shadows
of
of
the
Empire.
Empire on N64, but that had first person in it, but it was third person as well.
Dash Rendar.
Dark Forces, what a great name. Dark Forces was on
You
PC. yes.
underestimate the power of the dark
So
side.
that's getting a physical Switch release. Rain World is getting a physical Switch release, a cinematic platformer that is near and dear to my heart. They are giving it a physical Switch release that was originally published by Adult Swim. I don't think they're the publisher anymore, though. Fighting Force Collection is coming to Switch. So what was that? PS1?
PS1. I used to look at pictures of it in my PlayStation magazine, and I was like, I could not wait, and I've never to this day played that game,
Oh,
believe it
really?
or not. But I wanted it so bad because it looked like a upgraded Streets of Rage or something.
It was originally meant to be Streets of Rage,
Oh,
and then I don't
man.
remember the exact story, but I believe Sega got cold feet and was like, no
That's
Streets of
funny.
Rage, and then they were just like, well, Fighting Force it is.
But
So,
it's
yeah.
not really a good game, right? Or it wasn't considered
I
great.
have
Or
fond memories of the first one, but not to a point where I'm like, I can't wait to play that again because I'm sure it doesn't hold up.
Yeah.
But at the time, I remember I rented it. I remember liking it, but wasn't blown away by it. Renane, as I already talked about. Renane, a pixel platformer, but it's so much more. Humor, clever dialogue, fighting game mechanics, and hopping over pits come together in Renane, an independent labor of love designed to challenge you, intrigue you, tickle you, and occasionally even provoke you.
Tickle.
Coming to Switch soon. That will be a physical and a digital release. Looks awesome. I owe you
Physical,
another thank you, Nicky.
digital, and tickle.
Don't let me forget.
From what?
I owe you another thank you. Don't let me forget after this story.
Be careful with those.
I've had durian before.
Oh.
Not durian. It was durian mochi, but I've had the flavor.
Do you smell the propane on the end of the?
No. It smells like I just get coconut.
You don't get anything?
Well, maybe it was
Coconut.
like really
I get
strong when we first opened it.
You let all the gas out.
That's what it was.
Oh.
Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus,
Ooh,
is
it's
going
like a-
physical on Switch. Yes.
It's got a toy
It's got
inside.
yeah. Eat the toy. Wolfenstein 2 got a release on Switch. It was
Wolfenstein.
I don't know. I think it was a game card, but it was a game card that didn't include everything on it. You had to download extra stuff to get the full game. This is full game on the game card, so you don't have no downloads required.
Full fat game.
Full fat.
I'm
game.
allergic to peanuts.
I don't
how
believe
many?
that.
My cousin was just saying yesterday. What is he allergic to, and he ate it, and he's fine.
Almonds. I mean, he has a nut allergy. I
Almonds.
think it was almonds.
But he's live. Hello, Solamaster Link. Good to see you. Cosmic Fantasy Collection 2 is getting a physical Switch release. G.I. Joe, The Wrath of Cobra is getting a physical Switch release. Remember, that's a brand new 2D beat 'em up a la Streets of Rage.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Coming in 2025. Yeah, the game looks awesome. It has like the graphics aren't like Streets of Rage. They're old. It's more like Turtles in Time. It looks like Turtles in Time.
Okay.
But it looks awesome. Yeah. Assault Suit Lanos 2 is getting a physical Switch release. That's out this year. A brand new announcement out of nowhere, which I heard the music and I was like, what's going on here? Gimmick 2. A brand new Gimmick game. So the original Gimmick is out
It's
now
not
on
gonna stick
Switch
around for long, right?
from Sunsoft is on Switch now in a revamped version. But Gimmick 2, a brand new Gimmick game, physical digital Switch release coming from I forget the name of the company, Bitwave and Sunsoft together.
That's
these
what
are
All about it. Huh?
Are these? Is this a fresh box?
Yeah.
No,
Fresh from last week.
yeah.
two weeks ago?
them backwards so they don't.
Oh,
Penny's Big Breakaway, which is out
Yeah,
now on
try
Switch,
one
is
of
getting a
these.
physical release. That's awesome to see. Hitman Blood Money Reprisal is getting a physical Switch release. Deux,
yes.
one that's near and dear to, well, both of us, me in particular. I don't think you're going to go for it, but the original Fear Effect is getting a physical Switch release.
With Joe Rogan?
Is it?
Yes. No. Yeah, the original Fear Effect, not a remake. It'll be HD, but original as it was
Interesting.
Fear Effect is coming to Switch in physical and digital form.
That's cool.
And Fear Effect is I loved that game. I loved that game, and that's one of the first games I remember where I played it, and I was like,
Mommy.
oh, this is kind of like adult. Like I was like, oh, this is like mature, but I I don't mean like, blood and guts. It had like themes and games that I can't ever remember seeing like the idea of lesbians being discussed in a game where it wasn't just like to titillate. Like it was like about the main character being, I don't know if she's bi or a lesbian flat out. I don't remember, but just like that being discussed, I was like, oh, I'm surprised they're doing this. I remember that surprising me back in the day with a boner, and now it's coming to Switch. So I'm gonna get that. Like I have my physical copy of Fear Effect on the PlayStation 1 still, so I am gonna add that to my collection without a
Is that
doubt.
the fear that by playing it
Fear
you
of the
become a
boner.
lesbian?
That's what it is. Nowadays, that's what they would definitely say. So that's awesome to see. Nice surprise.
I remember. There's so much that I remember about that game for some reason.
Well, it had a striking look at the time too.
And when I revisited it years later, I was surprised at how short of a game it is. And it just seemed so big because there's so many memorable bits to it.
Yeah, it's it's like Myst and Resident Evil together, kind of. It's a little bit of a hard. It's more of an adventure than an all-out action game. It's like there's mysteries and puzzles to solve and stuff. I remember really liking that game. It was like in that genre wheelhouse for me. So I love that that's coming back. I just want to own it. I want to have. I think that'd be cool to have in my collection.
I think you might have lent it to me or something back then, or maybe gave me a disc at a time or something. Because I think there's like 4 discs to it or something.
I'm pretty sure I did. I think you're right. Another game that I believe is in you bought at the time. Did you buy Lollipop Chainsaw?
I did not.
Oh, well, Lollipop Chainsaw is coming back as Lollipop Chainsaw Repop. This is we
knew about this, so right?
Yes, we knew the game was coming. We didn't know physical. Summer 2024, it's coming out at least digitally. The physical copy will be later, but this is a I don't want to call it a revamp, but I don't want to call it a full-on remake.
It's a repop.
It's a repop. Like it's more than the original was, but it's not a full-on remake. But I mean, I still own the 360 copy, so this is that was one that not a lot of people played, but those who did play really enjoyed. It's Suda through and through. It's very campy. It's very weird. It's very over the top. It's like No More Heroes basically, except you have a chainsaw. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Toxic Crusaders, which we've known about for a while, is getting a physical Switch release. This is also another 2D beat 'em up. So if you're a fan of that genre, we got an update on Double Shake, which we knew was coming. If you're a fan of Tomba, I suggest you check out Double Shake. Just got a progress update. Saw how the game is coming along. No release date yet.
That's Timon and Pumbaa's son.
That's right. I'm sure there's fan fiction out there somewhere where those two had a kid.
Fan nonfiction.
Also, we got another look at Rugrats Adventures in Gameland. I've shared my impressions of the demo of that game, and I love it. It feels like
Rugrats eat your eyes.
It feels like an NES game from back in the day, because it is. It didn't come out back then, but this game today, if you buy it on Switch, you can play it to make it look like an NES game or with HD hand-drawn visuals, but you can also buy it for the actual NES. So it feels just like an NES game because it is literally being made for the NES. So I played it, and man, it was one quick demo level, but it felt so good. It's exactly what I want from that era platformer. So that's awesome. We got an update on that. Looks like it's coming along well. We got a look at the Gex trilogy. Deux, in your spare time or over in the corner right now by yourself, you need to watch the Gex trilogy trailer, because there's some dialogue in there that you will 100% appreciate.
Oh.
Dana Gould says one line, and I was like, is he going to do what I think he's going to do? And then he did it.
Says, I speak your name.
Doesn't say that. How about you guess? I want to see if you can guess it. It's a monologue very near and dear to your heart.
Oh, is it? Oh, really? Is it like from Blade Runner?
It is from Blade Runner. He said like a couple words, and it's like, Gex is all about movie quotes and TV show quotes. He said a couple words, and I was like, oh, is he doing the Blade Runner thing? And he did.
So funny.
So I was like, that's great. Physical and digital Switch release.
Gex still got it.
He does a whole Deux Views segment in the game.
Well, maybe in the 4K, but not in the trailer. We got another update on Shantae's Advance, Risky Revolution. I cream my shorts every time I see Shantae, obviously. And we got disappointing news, though. I don't know if this just is...
What if they made a Shantae movie and they cast
Chris Pratt.
Danielle Fishel, is that her name? Tokahanis? Topanga. Why did I say Tokahanis?
Tokahanis. I like that you got her real name correct. And her show name incorrect.
That was her...
Tokahanis, yep.
Her...
Shantae Tokahanis. Now I'm going to say it.
You'd probably have to watch from a hospital bed.
Man.
Is this a new game? Or a remake of something old?
Shantae Advance Risky Revolution is the GBA Shantae game that they never released.
Okay. So we've talked about this.
It is brand new.
And it's being released through limited games.
It is
limited run game.
It is brand new in the sense that it has never been released, but it was originally in development 20 years ago.
Okay.
It will be released on modern platforms, so you can get it on Switch if you would like, but they are finishing it as a GBA game, so you can get a physical GBA version as well. The trailer said 2025, which is really disappointing to me because I thought for sure it would be this year. But I don't know if it just says... The post specifically says Shantae Advance's Carbon Engine port drops on PC and consoles in 2025. So that gives me hope that the GBA version will be 2024 because the GBA version is not using the Carbon Engine. Carbon Engine is for games on modern platforms that are bringing back old games. So fingers crossed I will get this 2024, but 2025 for the other versions is a bit disappointing because we got 6 months until we get to 2025. So
also, though, with limited run games, their games come out months later.
You're right. Yes, you are 100% right on that. But I'm hopeful that, as we said before, the limited run version of the original Shantae sold way more than the initial cartridge run of Shantae when it first came out. So these two are working very closely. I'm hopeful that this partnership will get something out in 2024, but that kind of sucks. The game looks great. It sounds great. I love everything about it. I just don't want to have to wait until 2025 to play it. I thought for sure that was going to be this year.
The good news is we all have our Game Boy Advances and we're keeping them forever and ever until 2024, 2025,
or
beyond.
Or DS, or it doesn't matter.
Right?
You got your
DS Lite have it?
Anything plays those games.
Your analog,
they're all great.
Analog Pocket that's out now. There's so many ways to play GBA.
So many ways to play it,
old and new.
They should be. I think that's what Switch 2 is going to be. Just GBA. Didn't I? I'm sure I did that rumor before. Never mind.
What if?
You did.
What if
because
they have
anytime
a GBA, a Game Boy GBA slot?
It'd be awesome. First of all, I'd have to eat my words, and I would gladly. But we've got so many ways to play that we don't need that.
Anytime this conversation comes up about modern releases for retro systems, you can't resist about it becoming your spiders and flies getting you information on it. So yes, you did do that already. So 2025 on that. Ninja 5.0 is getting a physical release. Ninja 5.0 is one of the games that has forever escaped me. I never played it. This originally launched on the GBA, and it got a very, very, very limited run back then. I could never find it, which made it very hard to get later because the price was astronomical, and it only went higher. So I've never played this game, and I've always wanted to. It's a Konami game from the GBA days. Now it's getting a physical Switch release, a digital Switch release as well. So I will finally get to play this. It comes out July 5th, so not that far off at all. That's awesome. I'm so excited. Literally 20 plus years I've been waiting to play this game. We got another look at Clock Tower Rewind. Oh, man, this looks so good. I've never played that either. We never had a chance to play that because it never got released here.
This X is pretty funny, though. Do you think you can avoid Scissorman until fall 2024? Well, that's how long you'll need to survive. You're gonna have to avoid it until then because it's not coming out until then.
But it's thankfully coming out.
I paraphrased the rest of that. Just so you know.
Scissorman's coming out before the game comes out.
Do you think you can avoid Scissorman until fall 2024? That's how you'll need to survive to get your hands on Clock Tower Rewind. I guess so. Scissorman shows up first. Yes.
I mean, it'll be pretty darn easy to avoid him, right? If he's not even going to be like prowling. Prowling.
I wish I'm so ignorant. I wish I could have played that back in the day because I feel like I would have loved that game when we were younger. And like I just don't know if I'd be able to enjoy it today. I was looking at the footage. I mean, it looks totally classic.
But have you seen what Malik Halo posted in the Discord? Because that might convince you.
I haven't. No.
You should take a look right now. Because I mean, if you see that GIF and you don't want to play the game, I'd be shocked.
Well,
look at that.
You can't argue with that. I'm not going to argue with that.
Yes, we never got the first Clock Tower, which was released on the Super Famicom because obviously they thought it wouldn't have an audience here. And all these years later, it couldn't be any better for someone like me because it's getting a physical release. It is coming to Switch. It's being revamped with new stuff. It's got an animated intro, and it's all being handled by WayForward. How much more up my alley could you get? You're way up my alley on this one.
So Scissorman is related to the berries and cream person?
They certainly share a similar outfit. Scissors and cream.
I think we gotta be careful with that one.
Scissors and berries, more like.
Scissors and cream.
No, I'm staying with it.
Okay.
It works.
Double down.
So Clock Tower Rewind 2024. We got another look at that. Looks awesome. Tomba, we got another look at Tomba, which we already knew was getting a Switch release. Man, I love Tomba so much. What a fun game that was. July 19th, pre-orders open. The game comes out digitally August 1st, so coming this summer. But
Tomba looks like Adventure Island or something?
They say it's from the man who did Mega Man 2, Bionic Commando, and Ghosts and Goblins. Come on. No wonder I love the game
Sounds
so
difficult.
Much. You know, I remember a lot of things about Tomba. I don't remember difficult. Especially because
no offense. I'm not taking your difficulty settings to heart.
I mean, let's look at the other games. I can look back at Mega Man 2 and remember that being difficult as a kid. I can look at Ghosts and Goblins and remember that as being difficult now. I would still say that's a difficult game. Bionic Commando, it wasn't.
What would you say about Mega Man?
Really challenging.
Like the first Mega Man on Game Boy or Game Boy Advance or whatever.
What would I say about the first one on Game Boy?
Yeah.
I remember having trouble with it.
I couldn't get past 4 enemies.
When I first played when I first played Mega Man games early in the NES and the Game Boy days, I would go into all the Robot Master stages and never even get to the end, like the first 10 times I went through. Yeah, that's the way it works.
It's real tough.
But I don't remember Tomba being difficult. Granted, I haven't played it since it originally came out, but I just remember it being expansive and a really cool design. I don't remember it being extra challenging. But we got to look at that. But they surprised us with
a second Tomba.
The second Tomba is coming out as well. That's awesome.
Tomba 2.
2025 Tomba 2, The Evil Swine Return, will also come to Switch and will also get a physical
Tomba
release.
2.
DD Mega Doo-Doo.
So
is that also an old game, or is this?
That is also an old game. Yes, they both came out on PlayStation. So. And as people were asking at the beginning of this segment, Bubsy is coming back. Bubsy in the perfect
the best
collection,
for last.
Digitally and physically in 2025. And they started off the trailer making it look like GoldenEye was getting a physical release because that's how Bubsy is. So
Bubsy.
You're getting Bubsy in the perfect collection coming to Switch physically and digitally in 2025.
Did Bubsy do the Blade Runner speech?
No, but he did still talk in his very annoying voice. So there's that. Dana Gould, great voice. Not funny. Bubsy, horrible voice. Also not funny. So I'll take Dana Gould as Gex over whoever does Bubsy's voice. And then finally, they did a teaser that wasn't in the presentation, only done on X, that teased one hell of a surprise. That's a quote. One hell of a surprise with them and Grasshopper. So it's Shadow of the Damned. That's obviously what it's going to be, a physical release for that game. Not official, but what else are they teasing? Come on, that's what it's going to be.
That's what I thought too.
Because the name of the game is Shadows of the Damned, Hella Remastered, and they're teasing one hell of a surprise with Grasshopper. What else would it be?
Hella.
So there you go. That was everything in the limited run games presentation. Another banger from them.
Not too shabby.
Human Fart says lots of fun stuff. Renane looks fun. That one is definitely on my radar. Holy moly, is Renane on my radar. Yeah, everything about that game looks like my kind of game. Ooh, man, that soundtrack. Go listen to that trailer if you haven't. Holy moly. If you want to know exactly what kind of music I love, that is it right there. Or at least, a good example of something I love. So there you go. I said I owed you another apology or a thank you or whatever I said. So Nicky Hill, last week you were talking to me about a hiccup on the site with the ad being wonky and all that stuff. As I told you once already, I reached out to the ad team because I was not getting this stuff. Oddly enough, right after you told me that, the next day somebody else emailed me and they're like, I'm having issues with.
Are you apologizing because you put a virus on my phone?
Yes, I have all your bank information. I have all your nudes. So
take my debt.
We'll discuss that more in detail later. The ad team looked into it and they said, we apologize. Something did happen. So they have since fixed that. And I told them we're being injected with way too many ads. There's too many. And they went in and they fixed all that. And thanks to T27 Duck, he went in and behind the scenes, he did all that. So if you've been having problems on the site with too many ads or an ad blocking like the comment section or an ad crashing the site, refresh or clear your cache, and you should be okay. I have looked on multiple devices. I am okay. If you're still seeing issues, just send me an email so I can keep track of it. But from what I see, everything is okay now. So thank you.
Thank
Nicky
you.
Hill,
You don't
for
have
that
to
note.
apologize to me.
Well, it shouldn't be like that.
I
but,
appreciate that.
thank you
You're
for
like,
telling me.
we don't need this many ads. And they're like, oh, we're sorry. We thought you liked money.
I think about that stuff where they're like, I know they make changes to how ad things work, and it's a blanket thing for all sites. So stuff breaks, and it's not their fault. I get it. They're wonderful to work with, honestly. They've been so good to work with and very receptive and responsive, better than any ad company I can think of. But I also, in the back of my mind, I'm like, did they sneak a few more ads in here? Because if they sneak more ads in, then they also get more money, and they're going to be like,
watch your mouth.
They're going to be like, well, is he going to complain? He's going to get more money. So,
do you want to make more money?
Sure, we all do.
Do you want to make a doo-doo?
Sure, we all do.
Well, then keep up with that Metamucil.
That's right.
Quick.
You guys want some? We got plenty.
The last time I tried Metamucil, it turned out I was doing just fine.
Oh, because it
and basically
dialed it up
everything
enough?
came out the same way,
It
just
backfired.
orange.
Backfired big
And
time.
I was like,
oh, really?
I don't need this. Apparently, I'm just pushing on.
Hi,
through
Freddie Fro.
without-
Good to see you.
Sorry, too much
Hi, Marsboro.
information.
Freddie Fro says, welcome back, Deux.
Hey,
Your name was spoken.
What is Will Forte?
Thank you, Freddie Fro.
someone's TMI is another one.
Hi, Ross.
JEI, just enough information.
So just a little bit of information. That's not too much information. I think it's just
it's a
enough
little bit.
information. A game from Grasshopper Manufacturer, Michigan, Report from Hell.
Yes.
So maybe.
I mean, maybe. Sure.
But how about this one?
Go ahead.
Killer 7.
Suda has said multiple times that he wants to do that, but he's like, it's not. He says it's Capcom. He literally just said now, or Grasshopper in general on Twitter said, on X said, like, we hear you. We would love to do Killer 7. Please stop asking us. You have to ask Capcom. We can't. They have to do it. They have to come to us. So.
Hey, Capcom.
Suda just in another interview with Game Informer was like, I would love nothing more than to do Killer 7. It is not me. I can't do it. He's like, I would do it. We'll do it 100%.
I bought it for the GameCube to play on the Wii. Never played it. And then a few years ago, everything flooded. And so
there's a revamp on
a
Steam.
better chance that I'm not going to play. I don't have Steam. I'm losing
You
Steam.
can get Steam.
How?
It's free. Download it.
On what?
It's
system?
free.
I got to get a computer first.
You do need a computer. I'm this close to getting a new desktop. I need a new
How close?
desktop. This close.
Ooh,
Very
that's
close.
Pretty close.
I just paid off my laptop, so I'm like,
This laptop?
Yeah, I never buy anything for myself outright because I feel horrendous. So I'm like,
So that
what's
makes
the longest payment plan I could do? And
that
that's
makes
what I
more
did.
sense to why you didn't want to get a new laptop. You were still paying it off.
No, I mean, also on top of that, I know I'm stubborn. Like I knew what was working on a laptop still worked. I just need to find out what was causing a keyboard problem, and I did. Anyway, there was a Nintendo Direct, as you know. We said last week. Was it just you were here? Were you here last week?
Yeah, I was here.
Okay,
So
I couldn't remember
three of
who.
us,
Yes. So last week I said that GoNintendo was the talk of the town because apparently we had information that made it seem like there would be a Nintendo Direct on the 18th based on Among Us information that we shared that got yanked, but we didn't yank it. And it turns out we were right. So if you want to know about your Nintendo Direct information that I don't even know when I'm sharing with you, come to GoNintendo because there's a chance we'll tell you because I cover things. I should say we cover things so quickly that we get stuff before it's yanked. So we were right. We were right. There was a Nintendo Direct on the 18th. And boy, oh boy. So let's start with this. Pioro is the go-to leaker for Nintendo stuff. Did you hear about the Pioro stuff that happened this past week?
I haven't.
Pioro did what Pioro always does.
Well,
that's right. That's perfect. They shared on Twitter like a series of emoji that people were trying to decipher what it meant. And they also eventually shared a message that said, like, manage your expectations. And that everybody was like, oh, just as we expected, this is going to be a Direct that's going to be very modest because we're at the end of the Switch's lifespan. Those who watch the Direct know it's about as opposite of modest as you can get. It was a banger with multiple surprises. So everybody's like, what's going on here with Pioro? What happened? Well, it appears Nintendo has found out who Pioro is getting their information
and they gave them
from.
bad information to see what they post, and they right?
No,
that would be awesome.
So what happened is, here's what we think happened. I don't remember. Jason Schreier, whoever he works for, it's a big like financial outlet. I don't remember. He did an interview with Pioro, and Pioro was talking about how he got his information from someone that worked at Nintendo in Japan. When people say Nintendo of Japan, this is a pet peeve of mine. There's no such thing as Nintendo of Japan.
It's just Nintendo.
It's just Nintendo, yes. When people say Nintendo of Japan, I know it's nitpicking, but Nintendo of Japan doesn't exist. It's just Nintendo. You can say Nintendo in Japan. But anyway, he was saying someone from Nintendo in Japan was his source. He didn't know how they were getting the information, but he believed it to be something from the back end of their website. So here's what happened. Before Nintendo Directs happened, minutes before they happened, Nintendo would push the websites for certain games live on their back end. They wouldn't be public-facing live. They would be on the back end live. So that means a day or two before, certain people at Nintendo would know about the domains for websites for games and have access to that. Pioro's source was one of those people, and they'd be like, they wouldn't tell them how they're getting information, but they'd be like, this game is coming, that game is coming. Then Pioro would tease those games, and it'd be true. So Nintendo found out this was happening. I don't know if they found out who the leaker was, but they knew somebody was looking at this stuff. So what did Nintendo do? They didn't publish the website stuff on the back end. So the source wasn't getting any of their information. So that source thought, oh, this is going to be a very quiet Direct because there's no websites for games that are coming out. It's just very minor stuff. So that source told Pioro that. Pioro did their thing. It was like, manage your expectations because there's no websites, blah, blah, blah. So Nintendo figured out, if they didn't figure out who was leaking, they figured out how the leaks were happening and they stopped it. So Pioro was like, nothing big this time. Pioro was 100% wrong. The era of Pioro is over.
So when you say they stopped it, did they fire anybody, or they just found out where it was coming from? So they're
all we know for sure is they found out how someone was getting the information.
They're spiders and flies.
Whether they found the
I can imagine their spiders and flies are pretty legit.
Because there's multiple people that have access to that information. Did they find the one person who was disseminating it? I don't know, but that's no longer an option. So if we're ever going to have another Nintendo leaker, they're going to have to find another way to get that information.
Would that person be let go, do you think, if they were found out?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So
it would be let go of their head.
Is there, I mean, we probably, does Piero pay this person to like get this information, or is it like we don't have any idea?
If I'm gonna guess, it's an internet clout thing. People just like getting popular on the internet and becoming something that, someone that gets followed and gets clout. I don't think they'd be paying them, no. And plus, there's the layer of Nintendo excitement from fans being like, I'm in a know. I want to share this exciting news with somebody else, and then I don't imagine
too
they're
if
paying
there's
for
money involved, it like incriminates you further.
Exactly.
So.
So yeah, I'm guessing on that. I don't know, but yeah. Now the age of Pioro is over, so we'll have to see somebody else.
Nomoro.
Sorry, I had to burp. So we don't know.
Can't wait for that documentary to come out.
Whenever a leaker gets stopped, someone else usually shows up. I've covered Nintendo for 20 plus years. I've seen many a leaker come and go. We're in the going phase right now.
What
I
about
don't know if
Snrub?
somebody else will show up.
Where's Snrub?
Mr. Grub? That's true. He is still around,
What
and he
is
has
the,
sources, but he didn't say anything this time.
What's the like the legend or whatever of the
Zelda,
hydrant? The Hydra,
believe.
as you cut
Chop
off
off
one head, 3 grow back in its place, or 2?
Well, 1 would grow back if you're chopping off
thought-
1 head.
I thought that's the whole thing, though.
I
Is that
thought
like
2 grow back,
I
and
thought
it's
you cut off 1
You
and
chop
2
off
grow
1 and
back.
2 more grow back.
I think so.
Well, we'll find out who they
Comes
are.
back even stronger.
Well, we're in the growing period right now.
I like my approach where you give out a bunch of fake information to a bunch of people who are at that level, and then when that wrong information gets leaked, now you know who did.
But Nintendo doesn't
it.
want to do that because they don't want people's expectations to be based on things that they aren't doing. They don't want to make fans upset and be like, that direct sucked. Where was Mole Mania 2 and I'm trying to think Starfy 7 and
Bubsy.
they don't want people to get upset about things they were never doing in the first place. But where was Bubsy? Exactly. That's what the people want. Nintendo Direct Bubsy. That would
Bubsy Rubsy.
that would have been something else. So what did Nintendo talk about? I'm gonna try and
right.
do this in did you say Bubsy Rubsy?
Yeah,
I like it.
going down a dark hill, no lights.
You know what? I'm gonna go in the order of the Nintendo does it just because it's easier that way. So that means we're starting with the end of the presentation. The Nintendo Direct had that one more thing moment. And by this point in the Direct, everybody was like, what is this one more thing? You've already shown so many big things. Could this be the moment where this happens? And it was. 7 years ago, we found out that Metroid Prime 4 was in development. 5+ years ago, Nintendo did a very forward-facing video, and they were like, listen, we were doing Prime 4, and we're going to be honest, wasn't coming together the way we wanted it. So, we're going to cancel development altogether and start from the beginning. We're still doing it. It's going to take a lot longer than we thought now. We apologize. So I credit that as one of Nintendo's finest moments because I can't think of any other company that's been like, hey, this didn't go the way we wanted it to. We're starting from scratch. And guys, we know that means another 5-6 years until you get it, but we're doing it.
How many years did they make that decision?
7 years ago, they announced the game. 5+ years ago, they announced that they were restarting
And when did the
development.
Switch come out?
7 years ago.
And they always know what their next system is going to be, right?
From the day they release the new system, work has begun on the next system.
So perhaps they were like workshopping the new system, spitballing ideas, and they're like, oh, we've got this idea. This is what it's going to be like. And they're like, oh, we're going to make Metroid Prime 4 work on that system and really showcase it.
Well, A, what we saw is definitely for Switch.
Yeah.
Hands down, Switch. B, they were working with Bandai Namco on Metroid Prime 4, and that didn't come together for them, so they scrapped it, and they were like, we are working with Retro now, the guys who
Confirmed.
did the other three.
Completely wrong.
So
also, it wouldn't make sense. It also makes sense that it wouldn't. It doesn't make sense that it would come out on the Switch if it was made to highlight the Switch's predecessor.
It could still be on the Switch successor. That could happen. We've had Tears of the or we've had Breath of the Wild. So
predecessor,
the one before.
Oops.
But you're saying like I feel like Metroid Prime 3 Corruption really showcased the what was it, Wii Motion Plus?
No, it's just it's just regular Wiimote.
Was it? Okay. But I can't imagine that experience on like a GameCube. You know, it wouldn't obviously. You could still do it. It would just be button presses, and it wouldn't be as like intuitive, kind of.
Yeah, but this could be another case where, again, like I said, Breath of the Wild, that was Wii U and Switch. So we could this game could go to Switch's successor. Certainly, we don't know. Could come out same day on both of them. We don't know that either. All we know is Metroid Prime 4 is coming to the Switch in 2025. We now know the title is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, and people are like, Beyond means beyond the Switch. It's going to come to Switch's successor. Beyond to me makes
Samus has gone vegan.
To me, it looks like, this is speculation of my own. At the end of the trailer, we see like an expansive forest/jungle area where Samus is going beyond what the usual stuff. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know.
Open world.
We saw, who knows? We don't know. All we know is Retro's working on it with Nintendo. It exists. It looks great. It sounds great. We know Silux is coming back, so that's awesome. It's alive. It's alive. We actually got it. So I said weeks ago, if we get a direct, if we don't see Metroid Prime 4 beyond, or if we don't see Metroid Prime 4 at this, then Switch's successor. And Nintendo was like, we're doing it. So there's a lot of speculation as well, because what's his face? I forget the guy's name. Somebody in the chat will know it. He's
Miyamoto?
like, we got one more thing. He didn't say that. He's like, we have one more thing to show you before the showcase ends. And he did like a here gesture instead of the Switch snap gesture. And people are like, oh, he didn't do the Switch thing, so maybe it's coming to successor. I don't know. Little Easter eggs. Nintendo does stuff like that.
It's going to be coming, but they're saying it's coming to the Switch too.
100% it is going to be on Switch.
Yeah.
Speculation about Switch's successor is
what an
just
event!
Speculation.
But that's all we know. So technically, Switch 2 could come out, right? And then
perfect.
And then Metroid Prime 4 could be released like later, and it would just come out for Switch. You know, like this.
If anything, if this game is going to the Switch's successor, I would imagine it would be at launch. I don't see them like a year later bringing it over, because that would make the system look weak. You wouldn't do it then.
Which is also, I mean, Metroid is not really a
traditional system seller.
Yeah, like a game that really pushes the system. But that's interesting. Maybe that's their way of pushing Metroid.
That could be, because look at what happened with Breath of the Wild. I know that was a revolutionary game. Metroid Prime 4 is likely not going to be a revolution for the Metroid Prime franchise or Metroid in general, but
it was a different,
having it at launch gives it a nice boost. People could see that as like, that is one of the games you pair with the system when you get it at launch.
Also,
certainly.
It was a new approach in Japan, and then now it's like the most popular Zelda, right? So,
yes, but what I'm saying is, I don't think from a gameplay standpoint, Metroid Prime 4 is going to be revolutionary for the franchise. I think it'll be bigger Prime, but I don't think it's going to be like turning Metroid on its head again.
But also, to what Deux was saying, it would be nice to have like motion controls, like handheld or docked or whatever, where you're hands free, because I only played Metroid Prime 1 Prime and that's how I played it on
motion control
on the Wii. And
yeah, I mean, this version could 100% have motion controls. Did Metroid Prime 1, whatever it's called, on Switch have motion controls?
Yeah,
there you go. So I would.
Did you play that way?
I would be surprised if it didn't.
I didn't.
It didn't have the reticle.
I tried it.
Or the IR sensor.
I tried it, and I didn't really feel. I don't feel as comfortable with the Switch, with the Joy-Cons as I do with the Wii remote. So
one had an actual IR sensor, and one is faking it. So yeah.
That's what I mean. Though, it would be maybe it's something to showcase what the Switch successor can do. Though something
we'll
about
find
it.
out together.
Something about it.
They're not going to do that.
What
though.
I do.
Maybe they'll do some superfluous stuff in there, but you don't want to be like
not depending on it.
Yeah, but you also don't want to be like, we're making a new system. Let's showcase it with a game from the last system. Like it needs to be more revolutionary. Like in the case of Zelda.
No, but like what? Which Zelda was it that came out?
Twilight Princess.
It came out with motion controls, but it also came out on the GameCube, right?
Yeah.
And then even later,
but you have to remember,
one that came out with motion control plus on the Wii U.
Skyward Sword.
No,
Skyward Sword on Wii.
On Wii.
But you have to remember, GameCube and Wii, visually speaking, were pretty much exactly the same. Switch's successor and Switch are not going to be visually the same. Switch's successor will have much improved graphics. So you don't want to be like, here's a new system with beefier hardware and the game looks like a Switch game. You don't want to do that. Right away, you don't want to do that, but we'll see. I'm not saying it can't go to the system.
Maybe I do.
Well, I mean, I don't care, but yeah, you're not going to want to showcase that to the public.
I just don't know. I'm so excited to know what they're going to launch the new system with,
It's a
because
great
there's
question.
so many great Switch games that are still coming out. It's like, wait,
After this direct,
what are you going to put on the next system? You're putting every single great game you have on this one, which I'm not complaining,
Been
but
a long time since we've had a 3D
exciting.
Mario.
Yeah, I mean,
That's my. If
what
they
else?
launch a system with a new 3D Mario, we haven't had that since.
What else could it be?
We haven't had that since
Nintendo 64.
Nintendo 64. No Wii, no GameCube, no Wii U,
3DS.
Well, yeah, no Wii U, no 3DS. Nope. Yeah, I mean, Odyssey came out a long time ago. The timing's right.
Yeah, that would be cool.
What else do you launch with? You don't launch with a Star Fox. I can tell you that. You don't launch with a Fire Emblem. Like, you need a system seller at launch. It's not.
And they're nowhere near a new Zelda, so they can't. And they did that last time.
Nope. Yeah, that Mario's got to be the one. What else could it be?
I can't think of a Donkey Kong.
I mean, I would love that. That's a bit of a risky endeavor. It would move units, but not like a Mario game would. A new 3D Mario at launch, that's a major system seller.
Maybe a new Mario Kart or
that's a great one too. That would probably be even better. No, that would hands down be better than a 3D Mario. A brand new Mario Kart at launch. Yes, that moves units. That could be it. If they did that at launch, because they waited so long after Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out to do some DLC to keep that sucker alive and keep it moving, and they're like, they haven't made a new Mario Kart since the Wii U. That could be it. Get your spiders and flies out there. That could be it. Man, would that be a system seller? That's the #1 best-selling game on the Switch.
They would have to have so many tracks and everything because 8 has so much. They'd have to have so much in it.
Well, I mean,
At some point, they got to stop.
I think it would have
what
the
if
standard.
it was just Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Plus?
I think people would be mad.
Yeah,
I think it'd be the standard amount of tracks at first. And
let's just get a remake of the original Mario Kart.
4 new cups and 4 tracks per cup, or 8 new cups, whatever it is. Oh yeah, 4 new and 4 retro, and then 4 tracks in each one. Yeah, that's probably what it would be.
Remakes are real hot right now.
Yes, but with Mario Kart, they don't want to do that. The Mario Kart is already a remake in and of itself. Like, every Mario Kart is a remake because it includes retro tracks.
What if it was like Mario Kart but built like that game The Crew, where it was like the whole United States?
If there's one thing people want in Mario Kart, it's more realism.
Cruise in Mushroom Kingdom.
There you go.
Or like GTA, but with Mario and Mario Kart.
GK.
All of this discussion. Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that. What else do we get? Well, according to Nintendo's press release, I'll just do what they did. Shockingly, so Metroid Prime 4 Beyond was very shocking.
That is
because
shocking.
We've gone so long without seeing it. For my money's worth, this was even more shocking. The tears of joy that came to me when I was trying to cover this direct. By the way, thank you to Nintendo Jam and Quince, who tag teamed the direct in particular with me. And so what we do when we cover directs is I do a game, somebody else does a game, somebody else does a game, and we circle back. And I keep track of everybody. I'm like, hey, you're doing this. Hey, you're doing this. And then I do one. Something worked out with this direct where every big announcement, Quince was the one that was covering it. So Quince got to do Metroid. Quince got to do what I'm about to say, The Legend of Zelda. Sorry, I lost my place. The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. So when this
you were free to cry everyone that you were.
Well, I still have to keep track of things and do other stuff for social media, but yes, this came up right away. You see Link, and it's Link's Awakening remake graphics, and I was like, I'll tell you exactly what happened. It came up, and I was like, oh, this is and I got disappointed because I'm like, it's going to be Oracle of Ages or Seasons. I'm like, it makes perfect sense. I totally get why they're doing this. I understand
Remakes
it.
Are
it's
real
not
hot
for
right
me.
now.
You weren't thinking A Link to the Past.
For a little bit when I saw Ganon.
Yeah,
Once
that's
when
what
I saw
made me
Ganon,
think
I was
of
like,
that.
oh, they're remaking A Link to the Past. I'm like, that's cool. And then I'm watching it. And I'm like, this isn't how A Link to the Past goes.
It was such a cool trailer. I loved it.
And then once Ganon gets hit and like Link, the stuff pops up on the ground, I was like, what's going on here? I'm reliving the moments now. I'm getting goosebumps. And like Link gets sucked down into the whatever, and he shoots the one arrow at Zelda in the crystal, and it starts to shatter.
Quick
and I was like,
thinking, that guy.
I'm like reliving it right now. I'm like, what's going on here? And then like Zelda starts running away, and I was like, Are we gonna play Zelda in this
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, running at the screen. So then it transitions and you see Zelda running away. I was like, oh my god, I think we're playing a Zelda in this game. And then we got a brand new name. I was like, this is a new game and we're playing a Zelda. And then Al Newman's like, what'd you think? And I was like, oh, and then he's like, this time, whatever he says, like, Link's not going to be or he says Link is in trouble and Zelda's going to be the protagonist. I was like, I can't even believe this is happening. This is crazy. And then they revealed Echoes of Wisdom, the brand new Zelda game in the Link's Awakening style, where you play as Zelda and she's got
a wand.
It's a rod, and it's what's it called? Probably
Echoes
it here.
Echoes of Trirod.
Trirod that's what it's called, right?
Yeah. I believe so.
And it's called a rod because that's what the things are called in those games, rods. You have the fire rod and the ice rod. That's why it's the Trirod.
And then when you ultimately save Link, he says, thank you. And Zelda says, don't thank me. Thank the rod.
Yeah.
So yes, they showed it's a brand new. We still don't know what Hyrule it takes place in. It looks like A Link to the Past Hyrule, but there are whole chunks of this map that are brand new that don't exist in A Link to the Past.
Guys,
there's a whole bunch of stuff going on to the left that I don't know what it is.
Tater Tot makes a great point, and it's a missed opportunity. I really thought they'd call it The Legend of Link.
I thought that too.
People said, why is it not called The Legend of Link? People also called it, or said, why is it not called The Legend of Zelda, The Missing Link, which is also a great name. But because they don't want to, that brand name of The Legend of Zelda is too important, especially right now, for them to differentiate between it. They want this to be a Zelda game. They want you to know it's a Legend of Zelda game. They don't want it to. They don't want the name to do anything to put people off because we all know how important names are. So if somebody heard The Legend of Link, they'd be like, "You don't play as Link? I don't want to do that."
Who's giving thumbs down to Tater Tot for that?
Well, maybe they're just giving thumbs down.
We don't need
the fact that
we don't need to call people out like that.
No, we do, because it was a good one.
The thoughts of Nicky Hill are not mine. Send them
thumbs
to
up.
Go Nicky Hill on Discord or whatever it is.
Well done, Tater Tot. You got a job.
So yes, you
You're
play as Zelda. She has the Tri-Rod, which lets her capture echoes of pretty much anything: a table, a chair, an enemy, a rock, whatever you want, to puzzle your way through.
Is that because she's going
and
to
fight your way through this game?
Try to save Link.
She tries everything.
I was watching this trailer and once she started like duplicating things, and I was just thinking about, I was like, this is like Tears of the Kingdom, but with like these toy graphics.
Exactly,
it was amazing. Right. I was like, I can only imagine the things that you're going to be able to do with like creativity in this.
The idea, this is so clear a marriage of Twilight Princess, or I'm sorry, Tears of the Kingdom and old school Zelda, that it's crazy because they're like, we want the old school style approach with puzzles and dungeons, but we want the new ideas of creativity and freedom. And this is the perfect marriage of that. You're going to be able to solve puzzles and battles with multiple ways, whatever way you want to do.
Yeah, I think so.
So, yeah, the amount of freedom and creativity here is amazing. Oh, God, it looks so
and that first look at the overworld, or when she kind of like looks out and the title comes up, I mean, it looks beautiful. It looks like a real interesting place to explore.
Bread and butter now, because that's, they did that with Breath of the Wild. You walk out on the ledge and you see the whole expanse, and Tears of the Kingdom, when you're falling, you see the whole thing, and now they're showing this here.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Goes back to the original Legend of Zelda, the artwork.
I immediately thought of those two when I saw it, and I kind of thought it was different style graphics for that style game.
Yeah.
Especially it falls into the depths, right? Oh.
Well, we don't know where they're going.
No, I know, but it just makes you think of that.
Well, people were thinking like, Link is wearing the hood, the cape, the cowl, the shroud, whatever you want to call it. And they're like, oh, that's like Tears of the Kingdom-esque as well. So I don't know. We'll all find out together. I saw Polygon had a really great article, and they were like, Nintendo doesn't care about the timeline of Zelda. They care about the fun. And I was like, yes, somebody gets it. They're not worried about like, where does this fit in? How does this matter? It doesn't matter. Are there things that connect them to other games? Yes. Is it fun to look into that stuff? Yes. But Nintendo more worries about like, let's make a fun game. So.
Well, I just found out, and it's never hindered my enjoyment of the series, and it hasn't really enhanced it since I found it out. But in Twilight Princess, the hero of time, that like skeleton thing that teaches you moves, that's Link from Ocarina of Time. And I don't know how I never knew that. I played both games like 100 times.
One of my favorite stories in
Not
Zelda
100.
because it's not thrown in your face. It's there if you want to pay attention to it, and that it's the timeline where he lost. How do you know? I mean, it's the story he tells every time you meet him. You get pieces and parts of that story as you go along because he trains you in that game. He's not someone you need to talk to get like you can get extra moves and stuff from him as you go through the game, but you don't need to talk to him every time. So if you do hunt him down, you hear his story, and it's a very sad one. That's why he looks the way he looks, because he screwed it up. And I'm guessing you saw that in a series of TikToks.
That's exactly
because I got those too, and I was like, that's a pretty cool. Whoever was doing that, I was like, that's a cool idea. Because people in the comments were like, I didn't know this, and like, I'm going to see more about this, and so that's awesome. So yes, Echoes of Wisdom. Here's the other great part: September 26th, it's coming out. They pulled another Mario Wonder on us. Mario Wonder, they're like, hey, new Mario game, see you in 3 months, and now they're like, hey, new Zelda game, see you in 3 months. And you know why they can do that? Because Nintendo knows that their fans care about their games, and they're confident in the quality of their games. They're like, we know we can build up the hype for this in 3 months. That's all it needs, because that's all it needs.
Yeah, I feel like exactly. Something like that.
Like
you want a really quick turnaround. You know, if it was like a full fat Mario or Zelda or even Metroid Prime, then yeah, give me 7 years. I mean, don't, but you know, I can see why you're hyping it up. But this, beautifully played. I couldn't be more excited for it.
Man, and
really great.
Again, they're retaining the style of music that you heard in the Link's Awakening remake. Now, Link's Awakening used a lot of the music from the original, but redone with a new orchestra. And they're retaining those same instruments and themes and style for this game. We've only heard one piece of music so far, and it is brand new. And boy, do I love that theme too. It's so good. I love what we've heard of that music. So I'm very excited for that return. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Probably my favorite thing shown in this Nintendo Direct. And it was filled with things that I was really excited about.
And I appreciate, I mean, we don't know yet, but I appreciate how it seems like like we said, it's going to be a game that uses your brain, probably. And I appreciate that. It's like, you know, not, it's, you know, the female's the protagonist now, so we have to dumb it down for like the ladies or something. It doesn't seem like they did that. It seems like a very well thought out thing. I don't know.
Well, they're doing it because it fits in perfectly with Zelda's piece of the Triforce, which is wisdom.
That really is brilliant.
That they obviously were like, we don't want to make a Zelda game where they're just like, hey, it's Zelda. She does what Link does.
She has a sword. Yeah.
She's using wisdom through the rod to solve puzzles.
It's brilliant.
Perfect.
It's brilliant.
It's perfect.
It really is brilliant.
So I
so
love
excited.
Love it so much. Oh man, I was like laughing and crying and like choking up while I was like, and I'm like, get it together. I got to cover this thing while I'm watching.
Someone mentioned in the Discord Tater Tot mentioned the Re-Deads are in it in the trailer.
That's cool probably one of my favorite moments, where she throws out a Re-Dead and it drops into a pit and screams, and the Bokoblins and the other guys are like shaking in fear from. Perfect, because those have never been in those games before.
So good. Every single time, I'm always like, how are they going to top this last Zelda game? And then they just keep coming up with clever things.
It's so Nintendo, and it's such a Nintendo fanboy thing to say. But I go through that same thing where you're like, how did they think of this? How will they top it next time? And Nintendo they will never make a new game unless they have some sort of something that justifies the game existing. And it's not just like Link's got a new hat, although Minish Cap was a new hat, but it does a lot of different stuff.
Cappy
they give you one new thing that completely changes the game. And that's funny. Mario's got a new hat. It completely changes the game where you're like, holy crap, like this one little thing completely evolved the whole experience. So, man,
I
give them so much credit. I mean, I don't have high self-esteem when it comes to anything, so I don't see myself as particularly creative, but the things they come up with and continue to on a yearly basis is just astounding.
And the thing that Nintendo's made it very clear about is they'll talk to anybody in the team and they're like, who's got an idea for whatever? And they'll throw things at a wall and be like, this one, there's something to this one. And everybody comes together on that. And they're like, yeah, we could really do something here. It's great. It's great. So we saw that. The Direct opened up with another huge surprise. Mario and Luigi Brothership was announced. A brand new
Oh my
Mario and Luigi game.
God.
We haven't seen a new Mario and Luigi in 9 years. This is the first brand new one in 9 years.
Times.
And many of us thought we would never get a brand new Mario and Luigi because Alpha Dream, the developer behind those games, closed down in 2019. So we're like, well, the dream's over. No more Mario and Luigi games.
the
Well,
alpha
wrong.
dream's over.
So everybody is wondering who is making this game. We know Nintendo's involved, obviously, as they've been involved with all the other ones, but who are they partnering with? Is it Nintendo internal? Are they doing this? Is it Next Level Games? Is it Intelligent Systems? We don't know. Nintendo didn't say. But however it's happening, it's happening. They are working on a brand new Mario and Luigi RPG.
Are there any, like, should we worry that they haven't said? I mean...
No, because they never say that. Nintendo never,
Yeah.
ever talks about that with anything. They never say, we're partnering with so-and-so, blah, blah. They did it with Metroid, or they did it with Metroid Prime 4 because they were like, we are restarting development. Everything's changed on this one. We need to give these people something to be like, oh, I'm not worried anymore. You can't be like, hey, we canceled this game and we're starting over. Fingers crossed. They're like, we canceled. We know it sucks, but we're working with Retro. So people are like, oh, okay, Retro, I'll worry a little bit.
Sure.
But yeah, Nintendo never says tech specs. Nintendo never says who they're teaming with, or very rarely says who they're teaming with.
I mean, the trailer looked great, and
so it's not a
those
surprise.
games, the Mario and Luigi games that I've played have been fun.
So good. The animation is spot on for for those games. All new character designs and all new types of characters that are clearly based off of electricity and sound. Because you have guys that look like electrical plugs and you have guys that look like auxiliary cords and other stuff like that. So music and sound and electricity are all involved here in some way, which is right up my alley.
Right up your alley.
It's called Brothership because Mario saves Luigi, and when they touch their hands together, something happens. And they literally ride on a ship.
Something's gonna happen.
They're on an island that looks like a ship. You can see it at the end of the trailer. So oh man, I never thought we'd get another one of these games. And between Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi, I happen to prefer Mario and Luigi better. So I'm so excited.
And this is first one on a
first one on a console. First one in 3D. First one without Alpha Dream. All the partner attacks are there, exactly what you would want. It looks so good. It looks so good. Just again, shocked that franchise is coming back, but it's coming back, and best of all,
the Switch officially has like every single game you'd ever want. Like,
got them all. November 7th, it's coming out. This has been a year of RPGs for Mario too. We have Super Mario RPG remake. We have the
1,000-Year Door.
1,000-Year Door remake. Thank you, and then a brand new Mario and Luigi game. It's crazy. November 7th. I can't believe it. November 7th. We got a new Mario Party, Super Mario Party Jamboree, the biggest Mario Party yet, coming out October 17th. Whole bunch of new mini games or party games, whatever you want to call it. Whole bunch of new modes. Multiplayer online with like, what is it? 30 people? 20, 30 people?
What is up with this? This is for the Switch?
Yeah.
And it's brand new. It's not like DLC or anything?
Brand new.
So what is going on? Why? I mean, that's cool and
Mario
everything.
Party's a huge seller for them.
But they already have one on the Switch.
No, they have 2 on the Switch.
Really?
Yeah. Mario Party's
Never
a huge
mind.
seller. Mario Party is one of those games where I would argue Nintendo could make it a yearly thing because it's just new mini game. It's like a sports game. Just it does that, you're playing new mini games. They don't. They usually do every other year, every 2 years. They'll do a new Mario Party.
Imagine it's lucrative every year.
And it works
People
with
be like, all right, we need another
Mario Party on the N64 was 1, 2, and 3. GameCube was 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't remember, but yeah, that's how they do them. And the last one was a big hit for them. So yeah, bigger than ever, more online than ever before. I love Mario Party games, so I'm there. I'm down. October 17th, that's coming out. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, whatever. If you didn't play it on the Wii and you didn't play it on the 3DS, now you can play it on the Switch. January 16th, 2025.
I haven't.
It's a great one. It's a
long time ago. I probably did, but I wanted to look at that a little bit. I mean, there's nothing to really look at, but I don't know when Universal is opening, but it's in 2025, and I feel like this is also part of like a push. Also, did you mention something about a new Donkey Kong, or maybe you just mentioned it for like the next?
We were trying
I mean,
to
there's nothing
speculate what
announced
they
official
could.
at all.
Yeah.
No, but this is something that's like, hey, here's the original game.
Yeah.
Get people interested, like, bring it back up, and then be like, oh, by the way, you like playing that? Maybe you'll like playing that.
I want to make it very clear, not the original. It's the Donkey Kong Country Returns, the Wii game.
Sorry,
Just want to make that clear.
the original Donkey
The original
Kong
return of the
Country
franchise on
game
Wii.
from
And that
the
was
Wii.
the one before Tropical Freeze.
Tropical Freeze was on Wii U, also on Switch.
On Wii
And
U.
Tropical Freeze was the last.
Tropical Freeze was the last new Donkey Kong Country game, yes. So us fans looking for a new one are hurting. Do we need to re-release the same one 3 times? I would say no, but I'm a hater. So, but Nicky Hill brings up a very good point. You want Donkey Kong something out there if you're going to have the park. So, great point. Never even considered.
I mean, he's in the movies too, right? I mean, we might as well
He
call
is.
that the Donkey Kong movie, but
call it the Chris Pratt movie. Thank you.
the Donkey Kong Kart movie
Moving on.
with special guest Mario.
Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D. Again, something we knew about for a long time now, but finally showcased.
Oh my gosh!
This is an HD.
Hold on.
Nope,
Just had
we're
a
not
thought.
going back to Donkey Kong. We're done.
It's not Donkey Kong. It's Mario. And
Oh,
last
God,
I
help
checked,
me.
this is a Nintendo podcast. I think whoever was working on Garfield the movie saw the Super Mario movie and saw Mario get the cat power up and was like, I have an idea. And then they hired Chris Pratt to be Garfield.
okay.
So let's get the spiders and flies out there to confirm or deny this. But
Saw the internet losing its shovel over the fact that Garfield like blew away the box office of Fury Road, like whatever it's called, Furiosa. Like people are like, this is a sign of how bad things are in the world.
I think
and people
it's
are
just
like,
like,
"Well, what's
people are
going
just
on here?"
bringing their kids to a movie, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially with
Garfield,
school
yeah.
being just
Parents are like,
out and, like,
I
summer
know
camps
Garfield.
going.
I can stomach Garfield for 90 minutes. It's fine. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I went to the movies
Put that commercial in the theaters. I'll go see that.
a week or two ago, and they have Garfield
Lasagna.
merch. Like Garfield's Garfield
Popcorn or lasagna,
popcorn bowl, drink like cup,
milk
or whatever.
duds,
and I almost got
Junior
some
Mints.
Garfield
and
merch
some
for
lasagna.
due, but it's this new Garfield, not like old Garfield. So I did not.
You know
I
who
did
doesn't get
not.
repped enough? Pookie. There's not enough Pookie out there.
I can agree with that. I
I love Pookie.
I love
I don't
Pookie too,
remember
and you
Pookie.
know I
His
have a
bear.
Oh,
Little bear he drags
yeah.
around
Little
with the
brown
blue
bear.
blanket
Little
sometimes. too.
brown bear.
yeah, exactly. I have a soft spot for.
No. Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D. Again, this is a remake of Dragon Quest 3, which is great. I applaud this because nobody plays Dragon Quest outside of Japan. That's a gross overstatement, but not very popular here. It's HD 2D, the perfect way to do that kind of thing. I am going to play this because I am a fan of Dragon Quest. I have not worked through Dragon Quest 3. So an HD 2D version, yes, I will play this. So I'm very excited. We finally got a release date, November 14th. Another banger for the Switch this year. Lego Horizon Adventures was showcased again. We just learned about that a couple weeks ago. So more of that coming. What did I say? Holiday? This holiday? Yes, holiday. A surprise. This is a surprise that while maybe at the table people don't care about, it is a surprise that went over really big. Tons of coverage for this one. People are extremely happy about this. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics.
I mean, I don't have any history with that, but I know that was something that people have been wanting.
Went
for a
over
long
really
time.
big. The Marvel Capcom games have been trapped in that era when they originally released with no other way to play them. People lost their minds when they found out this collection has 7 classic arcade games, and it's the one everybody wants is Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That is in here. So, and Nintendo knows exactly what they're doing because when they announced it, they said, whatever, it was like, we're going to take you for a ride. That's the famous song from that game. And so they started the announcement with that at the end of the announcement, and they were like, and it has a sound test too. And what song did I play? I'm going to take you for a ride to get people excited. And they said it's coming out this year. So many people lost their minds over this. Awesome to see. I kind of want it. I'm not a huge fighting game fan, but it has a beat 'em up that I've never played that I always wanted to play. It has the Punisher beat 'em up, and it's a Capcom beat 'em up I've never played.
There
So
you go.
I don't want it. So that again, that's this year. We did Zelda. Oh, by the way, with Zelda, there's a special edition gold-colored Switch Lite coming out. It's the Hyrule edition. So one more to your collection.
I'm not doing it,
OLED
Nintendo.
or
Well, it's
no?
a Switch. It's a Switch Lite only.
Oh, it's a Switch Lite.
And people were like, "Son of a bitch!" They were like, "I never thought this late in the system's life I'd be like, I guess I'm getting one more Switch." But yeah, it'll be cheaper. It'll be $199. So
Yeah, still not doing it, but
Yeah.
it's nice looking.
it is
It's
nice
cool.
looking.
Wait, I'm sorry. That's the Mario and Luigi is Mothership.
Brothership.
Brothership.
They're
I
brothers.
thought
They're
it was
not mothers.
Brothers Hip.
They said Brothership, so it's not Mother
I
anything.
thought they
but
just mispronounced it.
no.
Like Mario throws out his hip, so Luigi's got to help him along.
No. That's what happens. Yeah.
The riveting storylines we're getting out of Nintendo this late in the Switch's life.
Send those to my spiders and flies before you.
We did that. We did
Oh,
that.
man,
we did
that's a
that,
good
we
one.
Did that, we did that. We did that. Just Dance 2025 edition. No surprise there. Coming out October. Switch Online. We got 4 new surprise Switch Online games, and they're all out right now. If you are a fan of Game Boy Advance, you have Metroid Zero Mission. Oh, sorry, I was. Where is this stuff? There we go. Yes, you have Metroid Zero Mission, which is the GBA remake of the original Metroid game with a whole bunch of bonus content at the end, which is why a young RMC bought that game, because I'm like, if I could get through the beginning stuff, then I could see all the new stuff, which is where Zero Suit Samus was introduced, her debut. So it was worth it because it's a nice chunky portion of the game at the end. That is out on Switch Online, as is The Legend of Zelda 4 Swords, which existed before 4 Swords Adventures. 4 Swords came out on the Game Boy Advance, where if you had 4 friends who had the GBA with a link cable, you could play it all together. Now you can play it on Switch online. I suggest we do that. I would love to do that.
That should be fun.
So that he can finish playing without everybody.
You can play that game solo if you want.
We played that one with the Game Boy Advance.
We played 4 Swords Adventures.
That's the one we played?
We did not play 4 Swords because that's never... I played that on my own, like just by myself, because nobody else had a GBA. I didn't have 4 GBAs back then. I had 1. So I played that by myself, where you control all 4 characters at once. I would love to play it with friends because dungeons are randomized. So it will be different from when I played it back then. But we can play it online now. I would love to do that. Also, as I said, 2 more games for Switch Online. The new Switch Online 17 plus mature app came out.
Yeah, what's the deal with that? They can't have like a little something.
The deal is they have to, because the other app is rated for a different age group, so they can't just cram them in there. They'd have to reclassify the app, take the app off of your system, and make you download a new one, or put out a new app for the mature games.
Put out a new app.
Which
I just told you, the mature app.
But what? Perfect.
Oh, you want to know the games? That's what I'm getting to.
No.
Sure. Oh, okay. I don't know what you want. I'm here to answer.
The Game Boy Online? No.
Nope. N64.
N64 Online mature. That's all. That's what it's.
It is for only mature rated N64 games.
Mature,
yes, because the first one was not classified for mature.
No, I heard
games.
all that stuff.
So they would have to reclassify.
I heard that. Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. So that's why they put out the app. It's 2 games on it right now. There's a list of like 20 to 30 mature games on the N64, so there's room for others. Conquer. But right now you have Turok Dinosaur Hunter, which was rated mature, obviously, as all these games are, and Perfect Dark. So if you haven't played either of those or played them in a long time,
Perfect Dark was rated mature?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you guys were playing that real young.
That's interesting. I guess that GoldenEye's not rated mature then.
It's teen.
Yes. Interesting.
Because there's not really any blood spurts or splatter in that. There's just like a little bit of red clothing.
Yeah.
Turok obviously is mature. You've got
Turok. They shoot at that iguana in the opening.
It's true.
In the opening scene,
you don't even get into the game and it's already violent.
Way too mature for me.
Very true. And does the first Turok have the cerebral bore, or is that later? It's like a ball that flies out and attaches the things and drills into them and shoots blood.
I don't know.
So yes, Turok. I remember Turok fondly. I know it's not a great game, but I remember it fondly.
But
there he is, right there. Yeah.
Perfect Dark though, that was a big deal too. I thought, right? Like they've been talking about that potentially. Like it's coming, it's on its way. I thought it's been something that's been talked about or anticipated for like a while
by fans.
Oh, I thought it was.
I don't remember. Somebody in the Discord tell me, was it ever officially announced that Perfect Dark was coming? I don't
Somebody
remember.
get Pioro on the. Ooh.
Oh, yikes.
Oh.
Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I know select people at the table don't care about that, but that game's been blowing up huge in popularity on mobile.
It looks lovely.
And now we're getting a console port, and hands-on impressions are phenomenal. If you are an Animal Crossing fan, you need to check this game out. I'm talking about the impressions were through the roof about this game. So if you're an Animal Crossing fan or a cozy game fan, or if you're a Sanrio fan, obviously, you should keep an eye on this one because it's going to be something well worth your time. It comes out next year, so not one to ignore. Finally, something I staked my claim on in a podcast episode years ago has come true. I said that Stray ain't going to stay on PS5. That Stray, they could do that on any system. They're going to BS people and be like, oh, people. I said, that's not true. It's going to go to other systems. I said, it'll be on Switch at some point. We finally got there. Stray is coming to the Switch, the critically acclaimed
Now you can play
award-winning
it.
cat adventure game. And I said to Mom Brain, now she can finally play it because she was nervous about playing it on PS5. It's coming to Switch. The
Wait, why were you
whole
nervous
game.
on the PS5?
She didn't, playing it on the system and that controller.
She's afraid of you.
No, never. Right?
Well, I don't feel competent with handling
Raw meets hardware.
The power of the PS5.
anything but a Switch, because that's what I'm really comfortable with. And he's super particular about his stuff, which I completely get. I'm the same way with certain things of mine, right? Like I feel the same way about touching your systems as you do about like touching my stuff in the kitchen, my knives or
Yes.
So plus, not that it's a bad thing, but like the systems are all set up in the basement. So it's like if I'm down there and I need help, and it's lovely down there, but if I need help or something, I'm like, hey, can you come down? So it's just like a big hullabaloo. It's not that I wouldn't do it. I mean, I played The Last of Us down there. And it's
but
fun.
then I brought it upstairs. Remember? I set it up on the table in my office.
Well,
The first one.
yeah, the first
You
one.
said The Last of Us, not me.
And then
Daddy Joel.
Father Joel. I did play Pikmin down there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was real nice because it's like dark
it's
down
dark.
there
Yeah, you're running
and
around in
like
caverns and stuff.
and
But that Switch.
the
is annoying.
TV, it's everything's like beautiful on the TV down there. So, pros and cons. But I might play it on the Switch still downstairs on the TV just because.
Well, you just definitely have to play it.
I just
Now
wanna-
It's finally happening. This is the full game, no cuts, nothing like that. It's all as it was on the other system.
the full beans.
The full beans.
Speaking
the full cat
of,
beans.
Peepa needs a nail trim real
Don't talk
bad.
about it.
Yeah, and last night she got stuck, and Rami was like, "No, don't do it, don't do it." I'm like,
I
"She
said
needs
it's
her
almost
nails
Saturday.
cut."
Cut her a break. Tales of
her
the
claws got stuck,
They get stuck in the rug sometimes.
and he just wants her to stay there and like starve to
Are
death.
we gonna pretend like cats don't put their claws in things and get stuck sometimes? It happens to all cats all the time.
You would let her die.
The last time she had a trim, she did very well.
I know. I just said it was Catterday. Give her a break for Catterday. That's all.
And here we are.
Tales of the Shire,
Here
which we
are,
already knew
all
about.
scratched up.
We got another look at that. Well, don't harass the cat. Nintendo Switch Sports is getting another free update. They're adding in basketball.
Oh wow!
We got another look at Nintendo World Championships NES Edition. They showcased 2 new modes this time. Again, that is coming July 18th, right around the corner, less than a month away, people. We got another look at Funko Fusion. So if you like Funko stuff, it's a whole bunch of licenses crammed together in an action-adventure game. There you go. Who's in there? I don't know. Battlestar Galactica, Chucky's in there, Shaun of the Dead, Back to the Future, Jurassic World, a whole bunch of stuff. All your favorite franchises. September 13th, that's coming out. Nicky Hill talked to me about this one because he was also interested, as was I. Mio, Memories in Orbit.
Mio.
A nimble android with extraordinary abilities who awakens
Nimble
in a
android, you
vessel.
have me.
A gigantic derelict spaceship teeming with lush vegetation and machines gone rogue. Explore a captivating universe full of wonders and artistic curiosities, and earn abilities to help Mio progress through this twisted and interconnected space. Yeah, it looked really good to me. The music sounded beautiful. The game looked beautiful. It's a Metroidvania. I love it. Coming to Switch next year. Looked really good.
It's a Metroidvania, but it looks like it's also like, what are those games called? Like Celeste, where it's real hard.
Platformer?
Platformer.
No, but like it's a style of platformer, right? Like Super Meat
Hell
Boy.
Precision
platformer?
platformer?
I don't know. Yeah, what did you say?
RMC platformer?
Yeah.
Hell platformer?
Hell
It's-
platformer's made up.
Yeah,
He's
but it's
just
accurate.
making that up. Yeah, precision platformer is what I would say.
Okay. Well, that's what I mean. It looks like there's some narrow spots to get through in that one.
Well, you were excited about it. I don't want you to temper your excitement because you told me you were excited for it. Now you're making it sound like you're nervous about it.
Oh, I was nervous from the beginning, but it's a beautiful looking game.
That's again.
They make it look nice.
Switch next year. Disney Illusion Island got a free Mystery in Monith update that's available right now. We got another look at Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. That's coming June 27th, 5 days away. The Among Us update, which is the thing that clued everybody into there being a direct, is live. We already talked all about that. Darkest Dungeon 2 is coming on this 15th. We already knew about that. But there's a free game trial for Darkest Dungeon, the original, right now if you're a Switch Online member. We got to look at Looney Tunes Wacky World of Sports. Local co-op game for up to 4 players. Basketball, soccer, golf, tennis, with all your favorite Looney Tunes characters, including Lola Bunny.
It just seems like a strange game to me. That one and the Funko one.
That's
it's
such-
like, it's like, why are we doing these branded things right now?
That's such like a PS2, GameCube, Xbox era game. Like that. I don't know why those are coming back now, but there's brands that are popular, and Warner Brothers is trying to rise the Looney Tunes brand once again.
It's like, do you think they were thinking like, we want to put this on the Switch, we want to get it out there, but we don't want to let's wait till like the end of the Switch's lifespan, where like they don't have a lot of great games, then people would really come to this because they want a fun experience, and then they see like the Legend of Zelda and they see Metro and they're, oh damn it,
It's going to other things too. It's not just Switch. But I
but
don't
who
know.
plays the other systems?
I don't know. On those systems, nobody's going to play those games. Metal Slug Attack Reloaded is out now.
And
This
that's
is
a
something we already
remake,
knew
right?
about. Huh?
That's a remake.
Brand new.
Really? It says Reloaded. Anytime there's
It
an
does say
RE.
Reloaded. It says nothing about remake. It's actually a brand new genre for the Metal Slug.
Oh, tower defense, right?
That is correct. Yes, brand new.
But it looked
game.
like they were attacking towers, not defending.
Well, somebody's got to do one thing and somebody's got to do the other.
Right though?
What are you saying? Right? That's every tower defense game. Something attacks the towers and something defends the towers.
But when you're playing a tower defense game, you're defending your job is to defend your own tower
By
while-
attacking the enemies.
Is that what it is? I
Yeah.
never played it.
Yeah, you put up like turrets and like other creatures to cast spells, and yeah, you
Right.
don't
No,
just-
but no, looking at that trailer, they looked like they were on the offensive, where they were
who do you mean by
approaching
they?
the characters in the game.
Okay, I haven't played the game, so I don't know which half you're playing here, but it's a tower defense game. You could be playing the onslaught of the defenders.
It looked like a side scroller. That's what it looked like, right? Like they were moving across and
I agree. Yes,
blowing
but
up
you
stuff.
are.
It looked like a
it's
regular-
tower defense. Here you go.
I get
Tower
it.
defense
I
game
heard
with
the
a
words.
beginner-friendly controls and its signature 2D look. Build the strongest team you can to crush the enemy bases. There you go. So you are playing the attackers in this tower defense game.
What a twist!
100 characters. Also features the Another Story mode
I want to hear it.
and gallery mode. Battle it out with players all over the world and strive for the highest title when the game launches today. Marvel vs. Capcom we covered. Phantom Brave, The Lost Hero was announced. It comes to Switch next year. Gridless tactical turn-based challenge from the creators of the Disgaea franchise. The 100 Line Last Defense Academy, made by the guy who did the Danganronpa series. Apparently, they've been working on this game for 7 years, and they had to take out a loan because the studio went bankrupt. And Aniplex, the anime studio, came in to help them publish this. The developer of the game is like, listen, we put everything we have into this game. We don't have any money, so we're giving it all we got. We really believe in this game. Hopefully, it sells. So it'll sell. People love that guy, so it'll sell.
Danganronpa.
Early next year, they say. Romancing Saga 2 is getting a remake. It comes out October 24th. Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven, an RPG I have never played.
You like
so
these?
I would like to. No. He likes Romance of the Three Kingdoms. This is
I was
different.
talking to Do, but thanks.
I said he.
Yeah, I do. The Romance of the Three Kingdoms is the one that I've played a couple of.
Didn't you play something though? That was another. what did you play recently that like you reviewed?
Reigns, it was called. It probably what you're thinking of. It was
Reigns of the Three Kingdoms.
I don't remember. It had some kind of subtitle.
I want to
Reigns,
say it was Reign
Roman Reigns.
something. I don't recall
Reign
exactly.
Kingdoms.
It was an interesting little
When it rains,
card
it
game,
pours.
like simple little card game that takes place in that time period, like
Gotcha.
loosely.
So this is a remake of an RPG. A lot of people didn't play. Now you have a chance to play. I see. This is when remakes come up, and I'm like, I guess I will play that because I didn't play the original, and you can't get the original still. This is really cool. This is really, really cool. Hironobu Sakaguchi, the father of Final Fantasy, and Nobuo Uematsu, the composer of all the Final Fantasy games. He at least has contributed to all of them. They teamed up on a game called Fantasian, which is available on your Apple device right now. It's been available there since 2021. It's a traditional RPG with some extra unique wrinkles in there. And people are like, man, I really want to play this game, but I don't have an Apple device. I'd like to play it on a traditional platform, whatever. Well, at the Direct, it was announced that Fantasian Neo Dimension is coming to Switch. This is everything you get in the iOS version of the game, remade, redone, reworked for traditional platforms, including Switch. It comes out this winter. Square Enix and Hironobu Sakaguchi worked together for a long time, and then eventually they drifted apart because Sakaguchi wasn't happy with them, and there was some real bad blood between between him and Square Enix. It just didn't get along, and I guess that's done with because Square Enix is like, you know what, we got you. Square Enix is stepping in to publish this game, so the bad
Whoa.
blood is gone.
I heard that
Sphere to Square Enix.
they were in a meeting talking
Spirit
about
Square.
developing a game, and Sakaguchi
Square to hair.
Square to
referred to them as Squeenix, and they were like, get out, we're done with you.
You're talking to this guy Spiders and Flies a lot this episode.
I just made it up.
Oh, sorry.
Or are you a spider or fly?
I didn't make it up. I've been getting texts from Pioro.
So RPG, like I said, it'll have some quality of life improvements and stuff like that, but a great way to play this on a traditional platform. So here's a really cool element of this game. Sakaguchi and his team created 150 real life physical dioramas that are used as the backdrops in this game. So when you're walking into towns or buildings, those exist as models in real life, and Sakaguchi showed off some of them. So that's, totally meaningless, doesn't affect the game in any way, shape, or form, but it's a cool attention to detail, and it shows their kind of dedication and care for the game. I think that's really awesome.
I wouldn't tell the people who spent the time making 150 dioramas that it was totally meaningless.
Well, it has meaning to them. That's all that matters. It doesn't have...
No, it's a style that they went with.
Yeah, I love it. I 100% love it. And it's a cool fact to know about the game, but it doesn't make gameplay better. It doesn't make gameplay different. It doesn't enhance gameplay. It's just, instead of this being modeled on a computer, this was physically modeled. I love it. I'm all about it. That's a selling point for me. I love that kind of stuff, but I don't pretend that it changes gameplay in any way. I just really love that idea. Fairy Tail 2, if you're a weeb and you love the anime, Fairy Tail 2 was announced and it's coming to Switch this winter. Another announcement that people have lost their minds over, Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. Why did they lose their minds about this? Because it's the first time we're getting one of these games outside of Japan. One of these titles, Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Gambit, never got localized, and now it is happening. So you get a game you already played, and a brand new game in a collection with revamped HD graphics, new languages, fresh character models, and artwork. You can play with the HD graphics if you want, or you can play with the original sprites if you want. It's up to you. Swap between whatever you want.
HD, please.
So a big win for the Ace Attorney fans. You're finally getting another one of the games that never got localized. Comes out September 6th. Pre-order it now. Farmagia, or Farmagia, however you want to say it. I've gotten so tired of not talking about this game, because for whatever reason, Marvelous wouldn't announce the platforms for it. So I'm supposed to play pretend and be like, well, I guess this isn't coming to Switch, even though I knew 150% it's coming to Switch. Of course it's coming to Switch, but I'm not covering it because they didn't announce Switch. Now they finally announced Switch. So now I can cover the game. Farmagia, from the creator of Fairy Tail, is coming to Switch. A mix of farming and monster combat. Along with that, Mom Brain,
Yes.
scour radio waves for the Denpa Men. Small creatures that call these invisible signals their home.
They come in waves.
You can't see them with the naked eye, but you can find them and catch them in the Switch system. The new Denpa Men is a free-to-play RPG where you can collect these Denpa Men for your party and adventure with them as your companions. The new Denpa Men came out or was announced for Japan a few months ago, and I was like, oh man, I wish this game would come stateside, thinking it would never happen. I was wrong. It's coming out July 22nd. Free to play, July 22nd. Denpa Men, they're back. We can catch Denpa Men together. We make a Denpa Island together.
What is Denpa?
I just told you what Denpa are. Small creatures that call
It's a game in it.
radio waves their home. They live in radio. They're around us right now.
The
Denpa
Men
are all around us.
Nicky.
So it's all part of the same paragraph of Farmiga.
There's a space that's missing. Rake me over the
that
coals.
changes
Jesus
the
Christ.
entire meaning of it.
No,
Also,
it doesn't. I'm tired of this shtick. It's an accident.
It's not a shtick. I got confused when I looked at the page. Because
How are you confused when you look at the page? I'm telling you right now.
Because you speak so fast. Also, I was hung up on the fact that it says F the new Denpa Men. And that's how I feel about it. F them.
Oh.
F them.
I say I'm tired of this shtick. The man says he's not doing shtick. Then he goes right into shtick
Well, no,
again.
I went into a shtick, but I wasn't shticking before.
Shtick to it.
Finish with a shtick.
Going in and change it right
Sorry,
now.
I got confused.
Maybe the Denpa Men deleted that space.
You know what?
Who
my
are
God.
the Denpa Men?
They're like gremlins.
We answered
Haven't
this
you been
3
listening?
times.
They come in waves.
Where is this in the thing? I want to watch it. I'll look it up on YouTube.
Where is what in the thing? What are you saying?
Denpa Men? There's probably a video of them, right?
From the Nintendo Direct, yes.
Yeah.
Have you seen that show with the 3 guys that paint themselves blue? That's the Denpa Men.
He's right.
They paint their denpas.
Oh, look at these
That's
Denpa Men.
Dupas.
Oh, they're like Mii's.
They're like Mii's if Mii's were. They're like a cross between, let's say, Mii's and Teletubbies.
Teletubbies. Oh my gosh, it looks like the Miiverse. They exist in the Miiverse.
No, Nicky Hill.
No?
They exist in radio waves. It's how many times we got to tell you all these facts? They exist in the spaces between radio waves.
It's like you don't know anything about
Those are big
Denpa.
There, I put in the space for you now. There you go. And the F is gone.
And that's a space that they could exist in.
That's right, because there's radio waves in there.
there's a
They're
space.
all around us right now. Those little perverts are right here in
Man.
front of us.
Those radio waves, there's a lot of space between them.
That's your Nintendo Direct, my friends. Human Fart says Metroid Prime 4. Wow. I can't believe the day has come for a preview. Mom Brain is moving slowly, but she's doing it. Zelda Echoes of Wisdom looks incredible. Playable Zelda too. I love the art style for Mario and Luigi Brothership. Looks fun. Super Mario Party Jamboree looks like we will be in for a good time as well. We are eating good this year. Yeah, Nintendo, I don't know. Man, you know, if Nintendo was ever going to pick a Direct to be like, we're going to take care of this this Pioro problem, this was the one, because they're like, we got some secrets in the wings and we don't want these leaked. So they did it, man. What a Direct. What a Direct. One of my top 5 favorites. So surprising. In the 7th year of the system, new Zelda, new Mario RPG, Metroid Prime 4 is alive. Another Mario Party, strong third-party support. Hachimachi, as Jay Sherman would say. Hachimachi. I don't know. I'm shocked. I'm still shocked. Let me go through what else we got here. What else do I really need to cover? You know, because Nicky Hill is here and we love speaking his name, we will do the European and North American releases. I'll open those. But let me see what else there is. No. Oh, I'll do that for Deux. I'm piecemealing some stories because we're already long in the tooth here. Here you go. I'm going to do this one very quickly. The Switch is just under 1.5 million units away from outselling the PS2 in the United States. If there were ever a milestone, that is one of them. So Switch has 1.4 million units more to sell in the United States to beat the PS2.
That's a lot.
Do you think that's going to happen? Yeah.
You think?
Easily.
With the new
With this
Switch
lineup?
Lite?
Were you any one of those games would have make it? The Switch has to sell 1.4 million in the United States. Yeah, easy, done. It's done. No questions asked. It's done.
Okay.
The Switch worldwide sold 17 million units last year. Do I think it's going to sell 1.5 million units in the United States? Yes.
I just have a heart. Like I don't know. I don't know people. I feel like all those games, yes, they're exciting for people who are already playing the games and are already know about them. No, I don't know about any of those games being games that move systems.
Well, what did I just say to you now? I said this because I was trying to paint
they're
the picture
sell.
for you.
Oh, they're gonna do
Last year, the Switch sold 17 million units worldwide. So, knowing that, do you think it's possible the Switch could sell 1.5 million units?
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it has
I
it in
think
it. Yeah. So it's gonna
Haven't they
happen.
already?
Didn't they already this fiscal year? When did Mr. Piscatella take the numbers
March,
for?
right?
As of May 4th, that number is. So I would guess they're at probably 1 million. Still need 1 million, somewhere around there. Yes, it's 100% going to happen. Now, that will make it the second best-selling system in the United States ever.
Second
best.
What's the first? You
tell me.
DS.
The DS is number 1. What's the number? Don't know.
But worldwide, it's the PS2.
Well, it depends on what Sony numbers you're pulling out your ass.
Oh yeah, they've got some really good new numbers. I heard.
So now everybody, when I posted a story, so everybody's like, "Well, let's see when Sony's going to be like, oh, in the US we sold 5 million."
They have
more,
to.
actually.
Yeah, they have to wait to see what the new top is before they announce those hidden
Yeah.
numbers that they had.
So again, just to put it in perspective, the US 1.4 million, and it does it. You have Mario and Luigi Brotherhood, The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, Super Mario Party, Jamboree, and all those other third-party titles. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. MeReal says, seeing the games coming from that latest direct, this is a slam dunk. Switch will be the best-selling console of all time. What a great system. I wish Iwata had lived to see it. It is bittersweet.
Nintendo Direct, more like Nintendo Erect. Am I right?
Oh! I like it. Speaking of
Well, I've
million
seen
sellers,
everything.
I hope you didn't see this story. We have a new number 1 over at Capcom.
Oh,
What is the best-selling Resident Evil game?
I would have said Resident Evil 4.
You would have said Resident Evil 4, and you would be wrong.
I thought about that too.
Barry was with you on that. You have another guess?
Are we talking now or before Resident Evil 4 remake came out?
You can't.
We're
call
talking
overall
now. Every
because-
single Resident Evil game we're talking. That's
Resident Evil 4 remake.
That is also a good guess. You are incorrect. The new number 1 is Resident Evil 2 remake. No other Resident Evil
Interesting.
game has sold more than Resident Evil 2 remake specifically. I want to stress that remakes numbers only include remake.
That's interesting.
So not the original Resident Evil 2. Resident Evil 2 remake has sold just shy of 14 million units. Your
Wow.
new number 1 is a remake. Why does Capcom and everybody else do remakes?
Because
That's
they
why.
sell.
They have a franchise that's been going for decades, since the late 90s, mid to late 90s. And the best-selling entry is a remake of the second game. There you go.
But
It wooed in newcomers, and it wooed in the people
Also-
who played the original.
And like the second best is a remake of a different, right?
I don't know what the second best one is off the top of my head.
Because I thought like the best before this one, I thought maybe it was Dude was right with that, with like Resident Evil 4.
I don't remember. I honestly don't.
Oh. And now, yeah, you
if
can't
I
count.
had, I don't have Capcom's like investor relations portal handy. It has all the numbers. If you give me a minute, I can get it.
But now it's like you can't just say Resident Evil 2.
You can't,
It's the Resident Evil 2 remake.
because if you say
and-
Resident Evil 2, you're wrong.
And sometimes it's like remake of a remake, a re-release of a remake.
And
Like,
it's only going
yeah.
to get worse. But there you go.
man,
Remember, you can get Resident Evil 2 remake on the Switch. It is a cloud version, and now would be a good time to do that because there is a demo, so you can test out if your internet is up to snuff for the cloud version. And if you find it to be up to snuff, now is a great time to get the cloud version because it's a 60% discount until July 8th. So you can get a major discount on that version. And again, if you have any other platform, probably the better way to play it. If you only have Switch and you want to play the remake, then see if your internet can handle the cloud version, and you can get it much cheaper than other versions. So that's why the demo's there. But there you go. Number 1
maybe
best-selling.
that'll get people to play the original, right? They'll be like, "No, this is great. I'd love to know what the original one was like.
We always hear
And
those
they'll play
stories
that,
about people playing the remakes
and
and then
they'll
going
love
to
it.
play the original. That's what happens.
Just a moment.
Said no one ever.
No.
Said RMC as he cried into his pillow at night. It is what it is. I'm gonna, you know what? Yes. I'm gonna try and get that answer on Resident Evil for you, but I'll do my North American releases first. Could I have my music, please? Thank you. North America this week. What do we get? Moonstone Island. Coming up this week is Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble. Remember, that is a Switch exclusive, brand new Monkey Ball game. Someone will have a review of that for you. And yes, don't worry, Gon is in it.
I wasn't worried. They wouldn't leave him out.
Metal Slug,
Voiced by Chris Pratt.
Attack Reloaded is out. A Fragile Mind, Action Games Bundle, Agnostico Origins, Arcade Archives versus Star Luster, Bunny eShop, Cave Digger 2, Courage Reasoning,
Cave Digger.
Courage Reasoning Nori 6.5 Courage Departure. Don't ask me what I think that means. Dark Star 1, Dice Folk. I've heard great things about Dice Folk. Tritorn, the PC 8801 version. Ever After Falls. Frogun Encore. Played Frogun, really liked it. Fruit Mountain, finally, that's the one. Fruit Mountain is the 3D version of Suika game. Garten of Banban, Garten of Banban
I
2,
am very familiar
Garten
with
of Banban
that.
3, and Garten of Banban 4.
Ina Garden?
No, sadly.
Greedy Snake, Love Elysium, Secret of the Goddess, Mouse and Crane, Nora, the Wannabe Alchemist, and Mosaic Chronicles Deluxe, 2-in-1 package there. Operation Steel, Path to Purge, Pixel World Unity Chan, Pogo Stick Champion, Princess Dress Up, Puzzle Box Animals, Puzzle World Funny Dogs, Rainbow Ascend, Anime Girls Go Up, they sure do. Row, Fire Race, plus Scrap Bolts, plus Milk Cellar, plus Home Sweet Home, plus Rafa's World. 5 games in a bundle there. Scars of Mars, Shop Clutter, Halloween Mystery, Spring Blossom, and Winter Break, the 3 games we mentioned last week in Europe. Speedway Turbo Car Racing Challenge, Springtime, Supermarket Simulation Grocery Empire 3D, Tavern Talk, The Great Adventures of Ned Mapagamel, The Ouroboros King, Times and Galaxy. That's a cool name, or that's a cool game and a cool name. It's about writing for a newspaper that's about outer space. Times and Galaxy. I like it. Tiny Watermelon Match. Toilet Hero. Don't know a thing about it.
That's
but
a
I want
cool
to.
game.
Train your brain, spot the difference with cat photos. Ooh. Zonix, that's Xonix.
Train your monkey brain.
Elands, Nintendo Switch Edition, and Zoozle. Followed by Wuzzle Wuzzle and Baka Baka. Human Fart says, what's coming out, Nicky? Sorry about that. And Nicky Hill. Actually, Josh, could you? And I have to pee again. I apologize.
What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nicky's sweet releases.
Well, thank you, Josh. Finally! These are the European Switch eShop releases for the week of June 20th, the year of our Lord, 2024.
The year of our lime.
Ooh.
The lime of our Lord. Blood. BLUD. Blood. Agnostico Origins. Anime vs. Evil. Apocalypse. Bug and Seek. Bumper Kitty. Cave Digger 2.
Cave Digger.
Chopper Strike. Clasher Ball. Cozy Jigsaw Puzzle. Cyberpunk City Tycoon. Dark Star 1. The Nintendo Switch Edition. Dice Folk. Echo Generation. Tritorn, that's the PC 8801 version. Everfalls. Faces of Illusion, the Twin Phantoms. Fireside. Fit My Zoo. Is it like Pimp My Ride, but like you come in and Garten of Banban, Garten of Banban 3, Garten of Banban 4. Guess we missed we're missing out too.
I only play sequels, so that's it. No Garten for me. No Banban.
No Banban. Glyphs of Gitzan. Glyphs of Gitzan. Sure. Grand Prix Racing Universal. Hentai Girls, Cat Cutie. iGame, Hong Kong Mahjong. Love Island. Metal Slug Attack Reloaded. Moonstone Island. Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation Quest of Memories. Okay. Neon Noir. Operation Steel. Pixel World Unity Chan. Puzzle World Funny Dogs. Rail Break. Hey, Rami. Railway Islands 2.
Thank you.
Rainbow Ascend. Anime girls go up. They sure do. Rainbow Diamonds. Rusted Moss.
Rusted Moss looks pretty cool.
Moss doesn't rust. What's up with that?
You know, overgrown, dilapidated city.
Buildings.
Post-apocalyptic.
Scars of Mars. Sekimori Gami. Sayin.
Know what I'm saying?
Tavern Talk. The game
Don't
adventures.
talk about that here. That's tavern talk.
The Great Adventures of Nedma Pagamaho.
They did have some great adventures, didn't they?
The Ouroboros King, Tiny Watermelon March, Toilet Hero, Train Your Brain, Spot the Differences with Cat Photos, Truck Simulator, USA and ATV Monster Rally Bundle, and we got more. Urban Trace Parkour Simulator Pursuit. Is that first person? It would have to be, right?
It doesn't have to be.
If
And
I'm
I
going to
don't
be
know.
simulating parkour, I want to be
Mirror's Edge in it.
first person. And Ylands, and Zoozle.
There you go. Is there a comment?
There is from Laxter37, and they say no love for Garden of Banban 2.
Shared that
That's what
20
we were just
hours
talking
ago.
about.
Good for you, Laxter. By the way, you said blood. I wanted to mention it is hashtag blood, but we can't use a hashtag next to a dash on our
Because
site
it'll
because
automatically make it a hyperlink or something.
no, it bumps it down. The way our site is set up, it bumps it down a space, so it would have looked weird. It's hashtag blood. Also, hashtag blood is completely hand drawn. Everything is hand drawn. The character,
Wow.
hand animated and hand drawn. It's done like a Saturday morning cartoon style, except it's bloody. It looks awesome. It's Zelda-esque and a dungeon crawler. It looks really cool. I want to give it a go.
Ooh.
Thank you, Nikki. I have your answers on Resident Evil. Would you care to guess what the second best-selling Resident Evil is?
Oh, no.
I don't know. Should I say Resident Evil 2, the original then?
That's a guess.
I would have thought, yeah, well, we all know what I thought was wrong, so.
Was it Resident Evil 1 remake?
Resident Evil 1 remake and Resident Evil 2 original. Both wrong. The answer is Resident Evil
the Sleuth!
7.
I almost said that too. 'Cause that was like the first. That was like the next redesign or whatever after.
So this is
6 was like a
I see
terrible
what's
one,
happening now.
I'll give you one more. Third best-selling Resident Evil.
5.
5.
You got to give me like a Price is Right thing. Honk a horn if I was close.
Ladies, do I have
With
at
my
least
previous-
one number right?
Guess.
For
You
what?
can't because that would just give it away.
Yes.
I'm just teasing. I guess I'll say Resident Evil. I guess I'll say Village then.
Village is correct.
Is it?
Yes.
You know, I see what's going on now. I see what's going on now.
Beep,
Was
beep.
Village the VR version? The VR
No.
one?
Just 8.
Beep, beep.
Resident Evil 8.
It's the first person. The sequel to the
With
first
the
person.
Lady
one.
So-
Damascue.
So 7 was first person.
7 was the new
8
style,
was also
yeah.
first person.
And then 8 was also.
which is Village.
So that's
Right.
what's happening. Those are really popular, and remakes are popular, and nobody wants tank controls anymore. So
This
we're
all
not going to
makes
see
sense
that.
until I tell you the next best-selling one, because the next best-selling one is Resident Evil 5.
Oh, it was.
Well,
I knew it was
I
on the
can
list somewhere.
I
but
can
also
see
don't
that
know why.
because Resident Evil 4 was really popular, and yeah, but I don't know.
Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6 have sold exactly the same, minus a few units. 9.1
Do you think
million
that
for
has to
each.
do with the heavy discounts? Because they've been heavily discounted over the years, right? Like
Capcom does do that. Yes, the combination of re-releasing them on every platform under the sun and sizable discounts. Yes, it works. It works for them. So,
Oh, this blood looks like really unique.
Blood
I
looks
don't want to
awesome.
ever say never, but like with Capcom, it seems like we're not going to see like a classic style Resident Evil, and they'd be kind of stupid to do it.
The closest you
'cause-
got was, the one you didn't like. The ones you didn't like.
Oh, Revelations.
Yeah. They were not tank controls, but they were much closer to a classic style experience than what you get now. Yeah. Would they ever do it? This is what I'll say. Nintendo would. Nintendo does. Would Capcom? Yeah, it's
Right.
not out of the realm of possibility. Like I said, look at with Mega Man 8, Mega Man 9 when they announced that. Just I know they're side scrolling, but still to go back to NES style graphics, that was the thing.
Yeah.
Not out of the realm of possibility. As a download only, I would imagine, but it could happen.
I'm gonna try to keep the faith, but you never know. I think the Mega Man fan base is different than the Resident Evil fan base.
We'll take anything, yes, because we're unloved. Resident Evil fan base is very loved, so,
right?
Yeah, and much more mainstream than a Mega Man fan, without a doubt.
But yeah, Nintendo, they'll do remakes, but not shamelessly. It's like there's usually a reason why they will do it. Because it's not on the system, or you haven't seen it in a while, or something.
Everybody's coming to figure out Nintendo's like method to their madness now. If Nintendo's like blah 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 HD, that means okay, it's not a remake. It's basically a remaster. If they do like Super Mario RPG, but they don't call it anything else, it's like, oh, this is a remake. Okay.
Yeah.
So people are getting it, like Wind Waker HD, Twilight Princess HD. You're like, this is how it was, but HD. And if they do, Link's Awakening didn't have an HD after it, that's a remake. So that's what they do. And now what do? What have we been playing? Mom Brain, what have you been playing?
1000 Resist.
Hair to hair. Hecky Olmo.
Hecky Grace.
Hecky Kagero.
Somebody, we went out to dinner with cousins yesterday, and one of them said, what'd they say? They say hair to hair?
Something about hair. And I was like, hair to hair?
And they said hair to hair. And I was like, hair to hair. And then I looked at the two of them and I was like, oh my God, all you people know about this. I was like, this is great. Yeah. But anyway, hi, Zikamuto. Good to see you.
You people.
Mom Brain.
I'm on chapter
talk
7.
About your adventure.
Things are getting weirder and weirder. But somehow it all makes sense, which is great.
I like to hear.
I'm enjoying it a great deal. I mean, that's really, I'm afraid to say too much because, I'm getting towards the end of the game and I don't want to like spoil anything.
Marsborough, I think, is talking about it and says they're on chapter 3. Trust your mother and follow all her teachings. Won't do anymore. But you're enjoying it. It's been interesting and engaging and exciting.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
alluring and all that.
Yeah, it's very mysterious
Mhm.
still, which I love.
Mhm.
Really, it's just great. I love it. That's it.
We have the interview with that team is done, 100% done. I didn't post it this week because of the direct. I reached out to them and I was like, I don't want this interview to get swamped and overtaken by the direct and the limited run games thing. I said, I'm going to hold it till next week.
Good idea.
Said, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Monday will be that. Tuesday will be the latest Did You Know
Movie
Nintendo,
night.
where you look at the game boxes and try and guess what game it is. Wednesday will be a review. Thursday will be a review, and I don't know about Friday yet. But we got a whole bunch of stuff coming next week. I'm so excited to share that interview. Very, very excited. Is that all you played?
Yes.
Nicky Hill, what have you been playing?
Solitaire.
How's it going?
Very alone.
No one ever joins me on this.
And my cell phone brain thing. And that's it.
I like how playing the brain game on your cell phone, each week you talk about it, seems to give you less words to say for it. Cell phone brain game.
And I also don't really want to like advertise it because it's not really something I really spend a bunch of money on. It's just a thing. But I'm trying to keep it.
Gatekeeper.
Why is that gatekeeping? I don't want to like.
You're not going to force anybody to buy it.
I mentioned it, but yeah, I'm not like. I don't want to. Not being sponsored. I don't want to be pushing people towards things. Who knows what the company is involved with?
You're being awfully strange about this, but
Makes
it's okay.
me think that there's something wrong with this company.
No, I'm not.
It'd be like if I was like, I
This-
don't want
I
to talk
don't-
about the games I'm playing because I don't know what the companies do, and I don't.
No,
want
I'm sorry I said that. I don't want to be pushing something on a podcast for your website, and like it's not
Well,
an advertisement.
I
you know.
appreciate the consideration. You're totally fine too, but if you don't want to, that's fine.
And it's the same thing over and over. And the only thing that I can say about it, you won't like, and that's just that
I don't like it.
I'm not getting smarter. So,
Well, I mean, yeah, how are you supposed to really gauge that? Who knows?
well, I feel like with Brain Age, I feel like things got easier, and
Well, that's got a doctor in
there's
it.
some things that I'm struggling with on this.
Doctor.
You know, I'm not
I love
improving.
when you try and get his name.
I
so
was
I'm
asking
ready.
you what his name was.
I can't
Kawashima?
remember. Quiet.
I was gonna say Kawashima. I was
Damn
gonna-
it! And
I
he
was
even
gonna
got it
say
right
that.
this second. Yeah, Dr. Kawashima.
I don't remember what I was gonna say. Oh, like I guess I'm going up in levels, so obviously things are going to get harder.
Hi, Kobun.
But I'm also doing worse at those higher levels
Sola to
because they
Robo.
are getting higher. So I'm not really. I don't feel like I'm getting better. I feel like I'm just
Mhm.
like failing.
Kobun, it's Sola to Robo.
But it's also just.
I think.
It's not even a game. It's just like short little mini game.
It's a
things.
lifestyle.
And so I'm just going through it. Boy, that's a mouthful. Hey, Deux, what have you been
Oh
playing?
no, it's not Sola to Robo. Jesus, it's a Pocket Card Jockey. I had a major brain fart there. Sorry, Pocket Card Jockey is the game. Okay, so sorry, Kobun. Holy crap, Sola to Robo was that DS game with the cat people in it,
Oh,
or Fox people.
Pocket Card Jockey. You
Pocket
told me
Card
about that a long
Jockey.
time ago, didn't you?
Great game, great game, very addictive. It's on Switch or 3DS if you want. Well, you can't get it there anymore. Sorry. Dude, what have you been playing?
Pardon me, everyone. Deux Michaels here. So I played some Animal Crossing New Horizon. This is actually the first time. This past week was the first time that I missed a couple of days since getting the game last September. So isn't that crazy?
Oh man.
Never missed a single day
It's
till this
over.
last week.
Oh no.
Not a big deal. The only thing that really I saw that affected me, because it was only a couple of days, was when I go to the Nook Miles terminal. You have to start over again. As far as if you go 7 days straight, you get the max amount of Nook Miles per day. But not a big deal. I'm back at it, planting my money trees and all that stuff. Back to doing that.
Bell trees, thank you.
Yes, bell trees. Thanks to Mom Brain, I finally got my apples. And you were correct. You can't send me letters apparently until you visit my island. And for some reason, I thought I'd gotten a letter from you at some point. Obviously, I was just wishful dreaming, wishful memorying. But yeah, so now
Sounds like the name of an anime that would drive you nuts.
yeah.
Wishful memorying.
Yep. And yeah, and then there's apples all over now. So I'm happy about that. And last but not least with Animal Crossing, it was the bug off today. I guess it's an annual bug off. So that weirdo Frisky, the one that catches bugs, he's like a red lizard, Flick.
I think I could be wrong.
I think you might be right. But yeah, Flick gave me some hot bells to grab some insects. It's all very exciting. I know we've all had this game for 3 years, and I'm the idiot still playing it like
why you get
so
like
late.
That? We like hearing about it.
Um,
You've convinced people to go back in and play.
Yeah, good. It's fun. It's a nice experience. Played some Fortnite this season. I believe I've come to the conclusion this is my favorite season of Fortnite ever so far. I used my V-Bucks to get the Battle Pass just last night, and I also got the John Cena "You Can't See Me" emote. So Lil Whip will be doing that, and yeah, I just can't get enough of this season. I'll play it with whoever, any one of my friends, and I will play it because it's so much fun. So leveling up nicely with that. I didn't play, but I downloaded the N64 Mature 17 Plus app, and I went into Turok because I wanted to just get the feels, and boy, did it deliver. And obviously, I'm gonna
Did
have
it deliver the fog.
I'm gonna have to mess around with the controls like I did with GoldenEye, because like
Yeah.
holy cow, I couldn't even like nostalgically walk around and take a look at stuff. That's how rough I was with the controller. So, but it's cool that it's there, and you know, some of that music is kind of, it's not that it's great, but it's just nostalgic. And I also really like Perfect Dark. I didn't boot that one up, but I probably will once I get my button gear for the controls.
Datadyne needs your help.
And Elvis,
Alien, yeah, and,
that weird freaky alien
laptop.
Idris Elba?
the laptop
turrets
gun,
and-
yeah.
That's right. That's
The-
his.
the
That's
actor?
his first
Idris
acting gig,
Elvis,
yeah.
yes,
He first appeared in a video game.
yes, with Egg Bagley Jr. And last but not least, I've been playing 1000 Resist on the Switch. I just started it yesterday.
Here to here.
Just red to blue.
Whoa!
So
At the same time.
just did the second chapter, so I guess you could say I'm on the third chapter now. I was struggling in the first chapter. There was something about the first chapter that I found very I don't know, it didn't seem very original. You're like running around a very like kind of like an area that you've seen in like a million video games, and I wasn't really digging how the story was told. I mean, I was fine with the story, but I kept thinking to myself, you know, this would have been great if I played it as a teenager, but like I've lived this, like I've done it. But then so I wasn't like too keen on it. And then I made it to the second chapter, and for some reason the second chapter kind of lets you walk around this hub area a bit. And I was walking around and I was trying to find all the faults with it, because that's how I like to play games. It's a miserable existence. And I was looking around, and again, I was like, you know, this is like PlayStation 2. Like this, you know, if they wanted it to look really nice, why didn't they, you know? And I kept having thoughts like this. And then, but then the more I walked around and the more the music got into my soul, and I was walking around this area that at first I didn't think I liked the look of, and then it became one of the most beautiful areas. All right, I'm an emotional person. I'm a weird person. I had a bad
We love it.
week before this. I started crying walking around. There was something about how the music and the area I was just exploring
What?
hit me, and in a very anemoic way. We use that word a lot, anemoia, where it's like a nostalgia for a time and place you've never been. I almost don't want to use anemoia. I want to say like I've been there, that nostalgic place that it's sending me.
Yeah.
I just don't know exactly whence it's from. And the music coupled with the voice acting, I am a serial skipper of dialogue. Like even with voice acting, I can read it and skip it and move ahead. I find myself more and more in this game listening and waiting, even though I know what they're going to say because the speech bubble is there. I wait sometimes to just hear them say it, because almost every voice actor is special, and I don't want to.
I didn't skip any of the those actors killed it.
It's really, really impressive, because even as I was, like I said, it was a slow burn for me in the beginning. I wasn't too interested in even the storyline, but even like as the characters were talking more, I was just finding myself like giving in to it and going with it. And it's again, the music coupled with that, with the voice acting, and that first area where you're walking around, and it's like this beautiful kind of hub world, like futuristic type hub land, and it's beautiful in like a PlayStation 2 way, you know, which isn't going to bother anybody listening here, but like I say it because this is a big deal for me, like getting over, you know, as an adult, like who can't get over the things that he says to himself that he enjoys. I started really I'm talking in circles now, but I was really enjoying it. And then once I played the second chapter, like stopped exploring and actually dove in with the story, I found myself starting to get really invested in it. Again, the voice acting is so well done, and it's really emotional. It's hard to not get kind of wrapped up in it. And yeah, music does a lot to me too. So I think that's what's like probably triggering the emotions while you're experiencing the story. But it doesn't matter. I want to play more. I'm like I said, I just started chapter 3. I want to play more, and I'm looking forward to kind of unraveling the mystery a little bit. I already have in my head what I think is going on, but that's never right. But that's part of the fun. So I don't know. I've been really enjoying it. There's not much quote playing of the game. I guess the most playing that I've done is looking at a red icon and holding a button to like shoot to it, and you just kind of like hover in air towards it. It's not difficult or really that I don't know. That was one of the things that was kind of bothering me in the first mission, but once I started, I don't know if the rest of the game is going to be like this, but like there's parts like in both chapters that I've played that are like that. And in the second chapter, I was enjoying doing it because it was like getting me to the next story bit, and it was more, I don't know. I think I let my guard down enough by then to like start letting it wash through me, over me, and into me. So I don't know if that helps you guys listening to this. I would say it's, if you like story-driven games and you have the patience for that. I'm not that you need the patience, but like I needed some patience, and I would say you should give it a shot. But or at least go online and listen to the soundtrack. I mean, the soundtrack is beautiful.
It's a very
so
long
far.
soundtrack. There's a lot of tracks, and I don't think there's a bad one in there. Yeah, you can listen to the whole thing for free if you want on Bandcamp, but you can also pay for a digital copy if you'd like.
Yeah, I mean, I had like little stupid nitpicks that I'm just gonna leave them. I don't even need to share them. But as with most things, like those nitpicks go away once I kind of not fall in love, but like start to really get into the story and the characters and stuff like that. Because when you're just starting out and you don't really know what's going on and who anybody is, it's easy to be like, game looks dumb, looks like crap, I don't know what's going on, I hate this. I know what's happening. It's like I don't know what's happening, but I know what's happening. But then, like I said, I had to let my guard down. That's the type of person I am. But thank goodness I did, because now I'm looking forward to playing more. And thank you for listening. I like talking about what I played, and there's no applause necessary. It's a struggle to not be so closed off and closed-minded and like averse to anything different when you're in my head. I don't know why, but I'm trying.
But that's the difference. You're trying. You're doing what many will never, ever even consider doing in their entire life. And that takes a lot. And that's worth applause. And yes, that soundtrack is very emotional, without a doubt. It heightens everything that happens. And the voice acting does the same. Yep.
Again, I was just, I'm not trying to be dramatic, and I'm not like so fragile. But I was just walking around listening, and I don't know, something just hit me.
You don't need to explain it. That's crazy. That's good stuff. That's what you want from an experience. Yeah, I know what you mean. Also, by the way, side note, you started playing at a great time because I just updated the Switch version, and it has a map of the garden now. If you wanted a map, they added in a map.
Oh, okay.
That was not there before.
Yeah, I don't know.
You needed it.
Well, I appreciate it. I'll keep you abreast of how it goes.
Oh, I'm very excited to hear. I would love, once Mom Brain finishes up and you finish too, to get like a conversation going about it. But
cool.
Thank you for sharing.
What have you played, my friend?
Thank you for asking. I was too busy this week with the conferences and bogged down, so all I played was Fortnite. I had a lot of fun playing Fortnite. As I said to do earlier today, that brand new mode is out in Fortnite today. It launched at 2:00. I haven't played it yet. 40 people, 10 teams, reboots now as many times as you want. You just have to wait 30 seconds until like the last 1 or 2 rounds of the circle. Then it's no more reboots. So classic locations, but a new map. I think old school weapons, and there's 0 build and builds or whatever you want. I'm excited to check that out. But other than that, yes, just played Fortnite mostly with family this week, because unfortunately I couldn't align things with Deux because Mom Brain is officially done with schoolwork. She's going to teach summer school, but she's out of the regular school year, which means she's got a couple of weeks where she can go out and about. So that's what we've been doing, keeping her out there and entertained and have fun. And we, like I said, we went out to dinner with family last night, blah, 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 blah. So I haven't played because of that, and I was overloaded with work, and I'm excited for things to calm down and I can play more. I greatly miss playing Fortnite with Deux and the other people we're playing with, so I want to get back to that big time. But that's it. Let's do Mom Brain, you're gonna love that gift that's in there right now. Let's do questions. So send your questions to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
goninpod@gmail.com. They can be about Nintendo video games in general or whatever the hell you want. AJ's got a question.
May the rats eat your eyes!
What's something you do for no practical reason aside from you enjoy it? Good question that I can't think of an answer for right away. Something I do for no practical reason, but I enjoy. I walk barefoot as much as I can because I love walking barefoot. There's no practical reason to that, but if I can go somewhere or outside barefoot, I will do that. I just love being barefoot. Don't know why. Don't know. Put those grippers away.
I come here and do a podcast with you.
Oh, boo. Don't do this stuff.
What? There's no practical reason. I just enjoy it.
There's practical reasons. It's a reason for
there's
getting
also
together with
practical
friends.
reasons people walk barefoot. It's good
What?
for their feet.
No. I'm not people. I'm me.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Well,
tell me
what's
the practical reason.
that's good for me here. Driving all the way out here. Driving all the way home.
You wouldn't say getting together with friends is a reason?
I enjoy it. I thought that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I thought.
But there's a practicality to that, is there not? Like
no,
you're
not
a
really.
member
Whatever.
of the show.
I
Whatever.
guess.
You had a great answer.
Any others? Any others?
Really, pat him on the back, please, Mom Brain. The guy's great.
Well, I'm open to hearing practical reasons for why I'm barefoot.
I just tried to, and you're like, no, I'm not
Tell
people.
me. Tell me.
I said it's good for your feet to be barefoot.
But that's not why I'm doing it. It says that you do for no practical reason.
Okay.
So that's
How about eating ice cream?
I mean, you don't do it I mean, it's nourishment for your body, but that's not why you're doing it.
It's
You're
not
just
even
doing it because you enjoy it.
nourishment. It's just good.
I mean, it's
So
nourishment.
I suppose
it is,
sex,
but,
if you're not looking to procreate.
I don't do that.
What is the practical reason?
It's a very good point. It's a very good point. If you're not looking to have a baby,
Release those hormones, though. It's good for you too.
again, that's not why you would be doing
Tater
it.
tot earmuffs.
Eat tater tots?
No.
Spud.
Oh, sorry, Spud.
Oh yeah, PC's got one. Buying the gosh dang Target birds. She's got a thing
What?
with the Target birds.
What's a
See,
target
like
bird?
that's an example. There's no practical reason there. You
What's
just
a target
like 'em.
bird?
What's a target bird?
They're
This
like
man, who's Chapel
little-
Roan? What's a target bird? They've
Roan
been
is
doing
my
it for a while
queen.
now. Target puts out like themed birds.
They're like
in
little felt
seasons or around
cartoonish birds.
around
decorations.
holidays. Yeah, they got a whole bunch. They got 4th of July and Christmas and spring and summer and Pride and whatever.
Yep.
Look them up. There's tons of them. People go
I mean,
crazy for them.
Yeah, I mean, if collecting is a thing, yeah, I buy video games, but I don't play them.
Mhm.
I guess that would not be practical. That's a good example. Yeah, I guess it's that kind of stuff. You know, if I was buying like, that's why I don't buy
Smell my
as
cat's breath.
many figurines as I
Just
want,
enjoy it.
because they just sit there. There's no practical reason to them, but I do like them. That's why I don't do it as much, because I'm like, you know, if I buy like a Lego thing, you're building them and you're getting something out of it, but then it transitions to just like, it's just a piece of art sitting there, which isn't wrong. That's completely fine. It's just something I struggle with, where I'm like, it's not doing anything. It's like,
I wish I could be more like that, because I've got a bunch of things just sitting around that I spend a lot of money on that Clearly don't have the
What
money
about-
to.
Time to sell.
Time to
What about,
list 'em, baby.
Singing, right? Like when you're singing in the car or just singing. There's nothing really
That is
practical
not
about
practical,
it.
that's
It's just
true.
enjoyable.
That's a good one.
Say his name.
That's what I was waiting for.
Pierce.
Yeah, there's some answers for you. Anybody else?
Your Play-Doh.
I was thinking, but there's obviously a
Mm.
reason to it. It's like soothing to me, but
Mm.
you know,
Yeah.
I went out. You know, when I'm doing it, that's not why I'm thinking I'm doing it. I'm like, I just like playing with it. But yeah, obviously, there's like something to the ritual of it. I do it all the time when I'm on the treadmill too. Like, oh man, you should take a look at the board above the treadmill. It's four lines deep now of Play-Doh blips. Sorry, not Play-Doh.
Yeah.
Colors of Kindness Crayola dough.
Dough play.
No other answers. That's all we got. I feel like we
I don't
said
know.
some good stuff.
Spin a pillow on my finger.
Oh,
It's not very practical.
but it is amazing.
Feels good, man.
Could be if you went to a pizza place.
Well,
It'd
you
be
wouldn't
like,
be
why
spinning a
should we
pillow.
hire you here?
Oh.
And then
Yep.
they'd be like, yeah.
If they get a
They'll
pillow
give you the keys to the building.
that looks like dough, because I can't do it with anything but a square pillow, so they'd have to get like I
So
don't
you
know.
go to the pizza place. They go, why should we hire you? You spin the pillow. They go, that's great. We could get you on the pizza dough back here, and you would go, oh, I don't do pizza dough.
No, I'm just gonna stand on the street corner and do it outside their
Oh,
place.
yeah.
Give me a
And
pillow
that'll-
that looks like a pizza, and then yeah. We also have a Patreon question. Mom Brain, did you know that you can join the Patreon
For $1.
for $1? Eggman did. Thank you, Eggman. And they have a question. Hi, podcast crew. Somewhat
Hi.
recently, we saw a fair few outlets publish reviews for Endless Ocean Luminous without beating the game. Some outlets disclosed this and explained why. The game is too long and repetitive. However, many probably didn't, as we know that the game had a glitch preventing the game being finished, but the reviews didn't mention it. What are your thoughts on this? I am personally okay if reviewers don't finish games as long as they disclose it. I don't think you need to see credits to know how a game is good or know if a game is good or bad, but make sure you are clear with the reader how much you did or did not play to come to that conclusion. Oh, Eggman, I noticed that as well because I knew there was a glitch. And I was like, well, isn't this going to be embarrassing for the outlets that published the review? Because, whoops, you just let it be known that you didn't really play the game.
How about
So,
it?
yes, Eggman. There's a reason why we
How
don't
early is
have a
the glitch?
review of the game yet.
How early on is the glitch? Like,
Depends on what you're doing. It's a glitch for like a completion of a certain part of a catalog. So, yes, it depends on what you're doing. But yes, I guarantee you, and I know firsthand, not firsthand, well, I know of firsthand that there are reviewers who will play a game for 20 minutes and they'd be like, I got what this is doing. And then they put a review out there.
I think you have to disclose how long you played the game if you didn't finish the game.
Should you? Yes. Do
Like, at
they?
the get-go.
Very, very, very infrequently.
Because if I'm
They're
like,
worried about embargoes. They're not worried about truthful reviews.
if I'm like looking to that to help me make a decision about whether I'm going to purchase the game or not, if I see you didn't finish the game, I'm going to look for another review.
Yeah, but you're already in a minority because you're reading what they're saying. People want the score, and that's it. They go look at the score. That's it.
and the reviewer just wants to post a review so that people click on that link.
Right.
And they got to be there at embargo, and it doesn't matter what the timing is. You got to be there. Got to get because you get your maximum coverage there. So yes, sadly, that's how a lot of reviews work. I'm not saying it doesn't work that way with other outlets as far as or other entertainment mediums. There's plenty of situations where people don't watch full movies and they review them, or TV shows, or listen to whole albums. It's out there. But yes, with games, it's a thing. And yes, it's different because, games can be 60 hours, 80 hours. But I'll name Game Informer as a good outlet. They'll always do a thing that's like, where's our review? And they'll say, like, here's why we don't have the review. Here's where we're at. And here's where you can, when you can expect us to have something. Good on you, Game Informer. That's what you do. Eurogamer has done it as well. They've said, like, we haven't had enough time to put into this. Here's what we think so far. We'll circle back with the regular review. GoNintendo has done that because that's how I always do it. I want the honest review. But yes, there are many, many, many more outlets that do not do that. They go, this is the embargo date. We will have a review then. The end. So yes, that's why our review of Endless Ocean Luminous has not been shared yet, but it will be. So we all agree. If you are not finishing the game, let your readers know. or let them know in general how much of the game you played before you did a review, but the outlets aren't going to do that mostly because then that would show they didn't really play the game.
And like you could just call it like, whatever, Animal Crossing first impressions.
Review in progress.
Yeah,
That's
it's
fine.
not hard.
Yeah, but you need a definitive answer with a number. Otherwise, it doesn't count. So there you go. That's it, Eggman. We're with you for the most part there. Or no, for the whole part. That's it. Let's do some music.
All right.
Send your music to goninpod@gmail.com. goninpod@gmail.com. Please put music in the title and help out your local mod.
I got music. You want to hear it? You want to hear it? Oh.
Is that what I sound like?
Sometimes.
Okay, here we go. Before we begin, I would like to offer you all a bad game description
Yay.
from Callus or Kalas. There are 3. Number 1. Deep sleeper wakes up to some I'm sorry. Let me start over.
Boo.
Deep sleeper wakes up to same shovel, different day.
Groundhog Day. A game where you wake up and you do the same thing again.
Deep sleeper wakes up to same shovel, different day.
Suicide Guy.
No.
Deep sleeper.
I know that's about sleeping. I haven't played it.
Super Mario Brothers 2.
No.
Little Nemo.
No.
Majora's Mask.
Just
No.
thinking of sleepers. Oh, repeating the same days. Deep sleep. What's a game character that sleeps? Jigglypuff.
No.
Or that you in the beginning wake up.
Link's
And if you-
Awakening.
No.
Mario 2.
No.
Oh, I can look at Discord for this. What am I doing?
How can you?
What do you mean? I go to Discord. Shovel Knight.
No.
Animal Crossing.
No.
Breath of the Wild.
Yes. It was Breath of the Wild.
Okay, I get what you're saying there. Yes, I understand.
Mm.
The second of 3. Lizard touches monkey's banana.
Mhm.
Ape Escape?
No.
Lizard touches monkey's banana.
Donkey Kong
Donkey Kong
Country.
Country.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
of course. That's embarrassing.
And the final one is, very simply, Penguin Murdering Simulator.
Super Mario 64.
That's correct.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Or Mario Party with pushy penguins.
Well played. Okay, so here goes song number 1 from Nico Darunia.
Well, I'd stake my life on it being first party.
You are correct.
Mario and Donkey Kong.
No.
And it's, I don't know how to say this. It's Real Instruments, but it's a lesser Real Instruments. I know that doesn't make any sense to anybody but me. I'm gonna guess it's 3DS.
It is.
Oh, all right. With that, it's Zelda.
It is.
So 3DS Zelda.
Link Between Worlds.
No.
It's Triforce Heroes.
That's correct.
We got there. We got
Great
there.
job. And it was from Nico Darunia.
What, you got a mouse in your pocket? We got there.
Oh.
It's like a dad thing. Like
Totally
an old
is.
man would say that.
This one comes
Whoa.
from I don't know what that, this one comes from Storbus Corbin.
I know this. It's Game Boy. Is this Battletoads?
It is Game Boy. It is not Battletoads, but it is
Rare.
this. No, never mind.
Why do I know this 100%.
Sure. Yeah, you absolutely do.
Oh, okay. Is it Capcom?
It is.
Gotta be. Oh, yeah, it's one of the Mega Mans. I don't know what one. Mega Man.
How about just Mega Man?
Okay, Mega
Dr.
Man.
Wily's Revenge from Storbus Corbin.
Could have played that as of a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't.
This one comes
Perfect timing.
from Matthew.
It's the Guardian Legend.
That is correct.
Man, those are some good sounds.
Cool game too. It's a shmup and an RPG. So you get out and walk around on foot and play like a Zelda style RPG, and then you also do levels where you fly around and shoot things.
Wasn't that like the Star Fox game that a lot
Star
of people
Fox
didn't
Adventure?
Star Fox Adventure.
like? People were like, "This is dumb. Just let us fly."
Yes. Well, that's because Star Fox is flying first always. Guardian Legend was its own
Plus,
thing.
there was
so-
like a really dumb Triceratops or something in that.
Yeah, but the thing people dislike the most about Star Fox games are the dumb animals, which are all throughout the whole franchise.
I mean, come on.
Here's a song from Zartan 86.
It's licensed on Super Nintendo.
You're
It's
correct.
So bad.
Cool spot.
No, I know it is because I rented this. It's got that stupid Bart's Nightmare.
It's not Bart's Nightmare.
You say it the way you say it makes me think it's a Simpsons game.
You think it's a Simpsons game, and you're correct.
So then
Aliens,
it's
the alien one.
Krusty's Super Fun House.
That's correct.
And I rented that because I was a Simpsons fan and I did not like it. And I played through the whole
Thank
thing.
goodness you're still a Simpsons fan after that one.
This one's from Jess I.
I probably screwed up the songs. Do you know how many songs we've done?
I don't. We are on 2, 3, 4, 5.
It has to be.
I have 5 left.
Okay, so then we're on 5. Oddly enough, this has to be the same. All right, this is a claim because it sounds like the same Simpsons garbage on the NES, but I don't know what it is at all.
It is NES.
Some licensed game.
Yep.
You guys are better at guessing movie and TV show games.
Jurassic Park.
Goonies.
Nope.
Sounds like a fish.
Yeah.
It's a claim, so the only hint I can give you based off a claim is it's probably not going to match the type of game it is at all.
Terminator.
It's not Terminator.
Yeah, like along. That's what it's going to be.
It's
It's
Predator.
Rambo.
No.
Platoon.
No.
Is it an army game of some sort? Like
No, but you were getting close.
Alien.
Keep in mind, Mom Ray doesn't know movies, so when she says you're getting close,
Jaws.
No.
Karate Kid.
I feel really confident that I'm right.
I got nothing.
Police.
Man, that'd be awesome.
Wish there was an NES game. That would have worked
Lethal
well as
Weapon.
an NES game. Platformer. Lethal Weapon. Loaded.
Rocky.
No.
Die Hard.
No.
Is that? It's like an '80s action movie or something.
Mhm.
Hudson Hawk.
Darkman. Batman. Total Recall.
Yes.
Booyah!
Terminator? Total Recall?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, that's
Very close.
Very good.
I was right. That was
They both start with T. They both had Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Mm-hmm.
This one comes from Mikey3319. The cover art is amazing.
Phalanx. Super Nintendo?
Yes.
Oh, I know this.
Same. This is the same song we just listened to.
Oh, this is one of my favorite games. This is Flashback.
It is.
Cool cover, you're right.
Which came with an exclusive Marvel comic inside.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I love Flashback so much. Play Flashback. It's on the Switch. You don't play Flashback.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Alrighty.
There's a new Flashback coming out on the Switch in like a month or two. Oh, Flashback. I loved it so much. The cutscenes ran at like 4 frames a second.
This one comes from Geku Kitsune, who dedicates this one to his dad.
This one's for you, Dad. Tetris?
Yep.
Yeah.
True ending.
Sending that rocket ship.
That one's for you, Josh.
I disconnected.
I don't want to be here.
One moment, please. This one comes from Wired.
Turn up a bit.
I've been close, bank accounts had ghosts. Now let's all toast to who they clicking the most. They trying, but they lying. God say, I can see that they fake. Yeah, they plastic like a Ken. Remove your appendix. Got the DNA, I'm staying humble, Mr. Kendrick. Pay dues and spend it, and you ain't getting a break.
Just Dance?
Nah, cause I've been up when they held down.
Let's
Need
throw a
star
Sonic
to
out.
follow. I like this sound.
I can see the game. Does it have somebody's name in it?
I don't think so.
Okay. Then it'd be a shot in the dark. I got nothing.
To get
We
dollars
all give up?
in the prize swallow, flow
Super Mega Baseball on the Switch.
I've heard a lot of good things about that game, but I'm not a sports game guy.
This one's from Guy Bones.
Go. Ooh. Wow.
Does this sound Capcom to you?
I thought for a little bit I thought it was some I was gonna say Batman-esque, which would be Sunsoft, but this doesn't sound like
This is
Sunsoft.
on Switch.
It's not Sunsoft. No, it is on the Game Boy.
I'm sorry, did you say it was, you guessed Capcom?
Is it Nintendo?
It is not Nintendo. It is not.
I can't place who this is. Those instruments, I just can't place them. Well, let's just think practically. Konami?
No.
Who else Game Boy at that time that did good music? Tecmo?
Nope.
We hit all the major players. Capcom, Konami, Nintendo. Sunsoft. I don't know. I mean, it'd be a guess. I don't know what it is, but I really like it. I think it's good. I'm giving up.
I don't know.
It was Fortified Zone. Jalico.
Yeah, they did do good music, but they didn't do too many games.
The last song of
A lot
today
of sports games from the Fortified
comes
Zone.
from Akumaju.
I see that drum. Is this Konami?
I think it is.
Yeah, that. Bloop,
Yeah.
and the drum. Okay, we got a Konami. but it sounds like a. Let's stay with Konami.
Sounds
It
like
is Konami?
ABBA.
It is Konami.
Okay. That it could be. We got so many things we could guess. Bucky O'Hare.
No.
A sports game.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Sorry, what is this?
Konami. Life
That
Force.
means to me nothing.
No.
Galaga.
Yeah. Is it Asian? How about Kid Nicky? I don't remember who made that.
I don't know.
You don't know if it's Kid Nicky?
No, I mean I know it's not. It was on the Famicom.
So it didn't get released here, is what you're saying?
It's possible.
Okay. So then, something Goemon.
No.
Konami, Kid Dracula on the NES. Or
No.
Famicom.
I'm out.
We're all out.
Yeah, I don't know.
This information has confused me. I've given you Konami, that's all I can do.
It is Twin B3 Poco Dynamo.
Yeah, we've gotten Twin B games,
Yeah,
but
that was on the tip of my tongue.
I don't think they localize. I could be wrong. I don't think they localized any of those on the NES. Sega Master System did, but it's Konami. Got it. Was Konami. That's worth half a point, right?
No.
Okay. 7 out of 10.
6 out of 9.
6 out of 9.
Beautiful.
And as we all know,
That's the end of the
that's
show.
the end of the show.
Yeah, it's been pretty. I've been listening the last 2 weeks, and there's something missing from the end of the show sometimes. And you know what it is? Deux Views.
Oh my God.
It's never news. Rumor of the week with Deux Michaels. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're still listening after that 2-week hiatus, thank you for sticking around. I mean, my goodness, it's not a show
Tell me about it.
if there isn't some real hard-hitting news at the end. And by news, I mean rumors. And by rumors, I mean this one's true, baby.
Oh my
Careful what you say.
God.
We don't want to go the way of Pioro.
Well,
This is no.
The spiders and flies, they're too
Yeah.
tricky. They're too tricky to be caught.
Never to be caught.
Pioro is living underground now.
Drake, that is an incredible gift.
I gotta check out.
Could
an
not be
incredible
any
gift.
more perfect.
It's perfect.
Yeah, that's exactly
So
that's
perfect.
exactly what's
Holy
happening.
crap, is that good?
So I sent my spiders and my flies around the video game world for the juiciest rumor fit to say, and I will say it now. So it turns out there was actually a one more thing that. So at the Nintendo Direct, there was actually a one more thing that somehow amazing news sites such as GoNintendo didn't see for some reason. So
Can't do it all.
in the one more thing, President Nintendo came out and he said,
What's that guy's name again?
President Nintendo.
they call him PN. So PN came out and he said, one more thing, ladies and gentlemen, you thought there was going to be a Switch 2? Well, guess what? We don't need it. Switch forever. We're putting every game out forever, and the track record speaks for itself. So, ladies and gentlemen, get out your red Nintendo Switch shirts and wear them, because
this is all it is from
because
here on out.
this is it from here on out, baby, and maybe the occasional Game Boy Advance game.
Well, then maybe I will buy that that Switch Lite. Roth, thank you, because that's exactly what I thought of when he said that. Yeah, I'm so glad somebody else. That's a Roth put a GIF in the chat from product number 3, or as it was written back in the day, PN03. So,
that's what you thought of? That right there?
That exact GIF in my mind. Yeah. Yep, that was classic. That era Capcom, where they're like, you know what will sell games? Butts. Lots of butts, and you stare at the butts, and the butts wiggle. Thank you, Deux, for that very true information. We appreciate it. And it's nice to have everybody back for a regular show, and hopefully that's what it'll be next week. After show, I got some stuff to talk about. But as for right now, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Wait a minute. Hold on. This just in. We did not see Deux Michaels on his birthday.
But I listened to it. He sang for me. I
What?
heard it.
Oh, I'm sorry. He can't be stopped.
Oh well, it also can't be heard.
Oh.
Oh, there we go. Can't let a birthday go. Now it's cemented. Now you're officially.
Thank
30
you
years
very
old.
much. Thank you.
Somebody else have a birthday coming up?
Thank
this
you,
week?
Josh.
Oh, do they, Monterey?
No.
Say her name. And,
Well,
it's
but
next
mine-
week. It's next.
Mine will be
Yeah,
after
she's
the
got
next podcast.
All right, that's it.
Sunday.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
After show, yes, Nintendo. I
Oh.
will talk about that without spoilers.
Mumbrain, can you do me a solid? Can you go get that bag that's on the table out there, please?
Oh, I'm excited.
Can you
for
do me a
snackies.
liquid?
It's not Snaxies.
Oh, I'm
Just-
not excited anymore.
Maybe
Yes,
Snackies.
Nintendo. I watched the finale of Doctor Who. I was excited for the finale, and I'm unhappy to say that I didn't like the finale. I really didn't like the finale, but what are you going to do? My aunt was talking to me about it today, and she was very excited, and she really liked it, but I did not like it. But that's okay. I don't have to like it, and I'll be back for the Christmas special, and I'm going to watch. That's it. I'm in on Doctor Who. Taking it as an anthology series, and there are episodes I miss and episodes I don't miss, and it just didn't
isn't
do
that
it for me.
sweet?
Let's say this: there were way too many for me things tied to Ruby that, and in no way, shape, or form made any sense or were discussed. Oh my god! And I'll give them some time. Maybe they'll discuss or explain some of it in the Christmas special, but I really don't think they will.
Ladies and gentlemen,
All that catitude.
I'm sorry to interrupt the Doctor Who
I'm done.
talk,
I'm done.
but Nicky Hill just gave me a pair of All That Catitude Garfield shorts, ladies and
10th
gentlemen.
Division says Garf Trunks. I like that. Putting on
Apparently,
the Garf
they're,
Trunks.
the label or whatever says that they're pajama shorts. But
No,
I say you wear them whenever you
no.
want.
This
No
is
such thing.
amazing.
Oh,
Thank
is
you.
that open?
Thank you.
Is this, yeah, there's a button there. Ooh, careful.
Oh, it won't be
don't
necessary.
I caught a look at the old lasagna there.
Oh, I'm gonna put these on right now.
Unlimited soup salad and breadsticks. Am I right?
Happy
Oh, come on! What is all
birthday.
this?
Careful there. I can see your normal.
Well, thank you. This is really sweet. Should I be
Put
open?
those on. We can put those on. but I don't know if-
Drake, you know
if we
what
get past
sucks
the camera.
here in America? We don't get to see the behind the scenes stuff on Disney Plus, so I have to hunt that out. If you're saying that's the
I
case,
do want to.
that will be good. But
should
yes,
I do it after the
you
should
do
I
whatever you
do it
want.
now, or I mean, how long can this go on for?
As long as I want. I'm sad that it I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I'm sorry. I didn't like it. There were pieces I liked, but yeah, just didn't do it for me. This is great. If only you guys could see what was going on literally right next to the camera. I don't want to get into spoiler territory, but like last week's episode set up such like a big thing, and this week's episode was like, oh, and it's done. So I'm sad, but I'll be there. I'll be there next season. Wow.
What do you think, ladies and germs?
That's great. Oh my God. All that catitude. Can you believe it?
Catitude.
Wow. That's something. Now, this is why you stay tuned for the after show. This is amazing.
Nice.
Chat is typing. Several people are typing. So you know it's not just a couple people. A 10 Division sent a voice note. Oh, and it's a nothing.
I'm gonna open the rest too. I'm not very good at waiting.
Tall Show says baby got cat. Best aftershocks ever. Oh, never mind. That's about the show. Yeah, like I said, I'll be in with Doctor Who, but oh, there you go. But very, very sad. I didn't like it. Malik Halo says almost saw Garfield's friends with that pose.
Man, look at these.
That's
Those
good.
are
Plant
Pikmin
stakes.
garden. Yeah, little
You can
garden
put little
stakes.
Pikmin steaks and put them in your garden. How awesome is that? I love these.
Did we get another voice note from 10 Division?
Thank you so
trying.
much.
All right. Well, I could put it on.
You're welcome.
I will definitely start
No,
gardening.
don't. It's not working. Whatever.
You
it
got
is.
that nice backyard. It's nicely groomed.
Yeah, I'm gonna put them there.
Apparently, his front yard's well groomed too.
Oh,
Sorry about that, guys.
no. Don't apologize for giving
There
the people
wasn't
what
much
they
to
want.
see, as you know. Coasters, Pikmin coasters, ladies and gentlemen. This
Oh,
is
and it's got the
very
points
cool.
on them. It's got the points on there. How many Pikmin you need
How
to pick them up?
cool is that? Thank you so much. I'm drinking all the time and needing to put down glasses.
Well, I know you have coasters. You've got the Charles Nelson.
That
Rowan
man,
These
that's
are
awesome.
nice.
That's awesome.
These are really, really nice.
I like
Official
those.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
I'd be
I've
afraid
been
to
thinking
use
of
them.
those since I saw them at the Nintendo NY.
Wow.
Those are awesome.
These are great.
Those are awesome. Well, everybody, you saw more Garfield than you bargained for. We talked about Doctor Who. There were great gifts. And that's what we got. Sorry, SD, we're leaving now. That's it. We'll be back next week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Play some games, rest, relax, hang out with friends and family. You deserve it. And as always, we'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Enjoy your week.
Goodbye.
Be safe.
And that's what we were missing.